So in the room, who has been the longest with Keller, with KW?
Not me.
Gilles?
Philip? Irene?
Yeah, we overall.
Oh, wait,
How long?
2008.
10, so that's 11 years. 10 years?
2009.
That's someone there 2 months.
Just under.
Just under 2 months. Only 2 years? 3 years? 1 year?
I don't even know.
I'm not lucky with my numbers.
Lucky number 7. That was an awesome trip. Please let me take you back to Austin. I know Austin with Philip and Irene is amazing. They know their way around. Austin is always a great restaurant, the best pasta. Margaritas. Oh, they're the people that go. Oh, really? It's great for you. So way better than the rest of the extraction.
No. You wouldn't show you went to Montreal, you went to
No.
We went eating. So you do eat?
Pretty much.
So we're about to. Go ahead. Do you have a reservation?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. How long before?
No, we almost get the bars. You can see it in there the next week.
Okay, to have a table, it takes,
Oh, ages.
yeah, months and months and months.
Yeah.
And they went to Joe Beef in Montreal. Wow. How was the steak?
We had the show.
Oh, you had the, okay, and?
It's like a protein drink and it's really tasty.
You know that the bottom, that's where it goes.
Hi, it's nice to meet you. I know it would be your favorite. Thanks.
It's one of
Where's my
Chuck's
chair?
restaurants.
Was me.
Chuck's. So it's in Montreal, in the basement.
I think it was me.
I went to Manitoba.
I don't know.
They do seal.
Very native.
It's all like northern Canadian.
Yeah. It was interesting, but not, it wasn't
No, it wasn't Joe Beef.
It wasn't
Yeah, pretty much.
We used to kind of meat, right? And seal, I don't know, I'm not sure.
I don't know.
They just do like a little shaving.
You wouldn't have me eat seal.
No.
No.
No way. No, I would not eat seal.
I'll try the big bowl salad first.
It's the Wi-Fi code.
I know.
It's good with it for a weekend or
It's Tuesday.
where do you stay?
We was down in Old Montreal until right after the convention center.
So do you took us now to?
It's nice because you walk a little south and you're in Old Montreal, you walk north, you're in Chinatown.
So it's not good, you know.
No, you can walk
Oh my goodness, that's a good walk.
Yeah, we're going to go to Theater for bagels, and then we just walk up, walk the salon.
Where'd you stay?
Hey guys. Everybody.
I'm not going to make any excuse. I didn't leave enough time this morning to get here. Anyway, welcome everybody. Welcome, Gilles. Gilles, second year now? Third year.
No.
1.5?
I was my second. I'm
Second, I know.
starting my second year.
Terrific.
Yes.
Have you accomplished anything yet?
Don't ask that to me, I'll tell you anything you want to hear.
I know full well.
Well, I'll show you a slide, you'll decide by yourself.
We're very fortunate to have a director of technology. Hi, Andy. I haven't seen you in a while. Working in Canada, based in Montreal. Correct, so far. And we're the only, the US hasn't got a Canadian director as we have. They will eventually.
No,
They won't?
no,
Oh, good. I mean, we're going to be getting the priority all the time.
that's right.
So we are. We're getting priority service to get product quality in technology to help you in this wonderful world of interesting real estate that we're in right now. You know, we're still in, anybody read the Star this morning? I get a chance to, I was doing it early. Market was down 16%, 18 over 17. Okay? We've got population increase, we've got employment full, we have opportunities galore, they're bidding for rental properties right now. Investment opportunities are wonderful. The marketplace is solid, in my estimation. Interest rates are staying relatively firm. It's still a relationship business. Would you agree with that? It's all about developing relationships with everybody in the marketplace that you're dealing with in your database and everybody that you meet. Complemented with technology more than ever. More than ever, because having the relationship isn't going to be enough anymore. The old business was all relationship, underline the word all. And the new business is still going to be relationship, complemented with technology. If you don't have the technology behind you, supporting you, as you've got this wonderful relationship developing with your database and clients and prospects, someone's going to eat your lunch. So we have to keep abreast of it. We're investing, oh, you can tell us about the money.
Yeah.
It's huge. It's
We're
huge.
investing right now about $4 million US through money, right? A week.
A week, yeah. Let's keep
That's
that
the
in
burn
mind.
rate right now.
Yeah.
And it's
So-
just going up and up and up because 3 months ago it was $3 million a week.
Right.
So it's,
Well, the recognition's there. The recognition is there that we have to have the information available to you to get the numbers, to get things right. So I won't speak any more about it here today. Sorry for being late, I apologize.
it's okay.
Thanks,
Thank
Gilles.
you, Laura.
I'll see you shortly.
All right, thanks. Well, thank you everyone for being here this morning. Yahoo! I'm excited. Really excited. Before Christmas, before the holidays, I did same presentation in Winnipeg and Vancouver. And then after the holidays, when I started to do presentation in Toronto last week, there were even more stuff. And then this week, there's even more stuff. I mean, I just can't keep pace with these guys over there. When I joined KW a year ago, they had 50 people working in IT. I had 3 product managers. So all I had to do is to make sure that whatever they built was suited for Canada. Now they have 20. It's like a big beast that's growing and growing. Anyway, so I'm happy to be here. I'd like to start by saying I'm your friend. I'm your voice. I am Canadian, and I want to work for you. I want to make sure that whatever we bring works here, right? But I'm human. So it's possible sometimes I'm going to miss something. So don't be hard on me. Just report it, okay? There's a great thing that Norm just said. It's a relationship business. And we have a captain, or captain of the ship, Gary Keller, understands that. If you wanted me to tell you today that tech is going to replace you, you're not the right place. Tech will never replace the agent in a real estate transaction. Other big tech companies are trying to do that. They want you to become the facilitator in a real estate deal, but that's not what we're here for. All right? So, let's get going at it. Our agenda is what you should know about our tech. By the way, as of today, all of you, I mean all, have access to command. All you have to do is go to agent.kw.com. That shouldn't be too hard to remember. Agent.kw.com, and you can log into your command. Command is ready to be used. Wow. Okay, it is ready. There's probably 60% of the whole suite that's there working, and you can start bringing benefit out of that.
All right, that's exciting.
Oh yeah.
Are we excited? I'm excited about
Oh,
that,
yeah.
right? Woo!
Another thing, that's good, yeah, let's go.
Yeah.
Because the last time I was here, what did I do? I promised. we're delivering now. And we have started to deliver December 4th. Now all of the agents have access to command. Shh, don't tell anyone. They don't know in the US. The only one that know are the Canadians, because I'm going from Market Center to Market Center. They didn't want to say it, because 200,000 agents pounding on the machine at the same time, you know, it will crash it. So what we did over the weekend, we went from Amazon, and we migrated everything to Google Cloud Platform. So there's still some little bumps that we have to fix, but we've moved to a more stable, more powerful environment. That's because, think about it, once you open your command in the morning, it's going to be open all day. It's going to be your office. You're going to have it open all the time.
Sorry, what did you say? You went from Amazon to where?
The Google Cloud Platform, GCP.
That's
Just
big.
lose interest.
Why the change?
Pardon?
Why the change?
Why the change? Because the Amazon platform, we suspected it could not handle the load. That's it. It's very simple. The core tools, 7 core tools of command. I say 7, but I should do 7. All right. And what's next? Because you know, we started that journey 3 years ago. We are now delivering the first tools, but it's going to be an ongoing thing. We have become a technology company. So it's not just a rush for a 1-year thing, and after that we're done with it. It's going to keep going on and on and on and on. All right? Guys, I want to just wake up a little bit. I have a question for you. What are the benefits you want the technology to bring you? Come on. Yes.
Everything in one spot.
Everything in one spot.
Keep me on track.
Keep you on track. Come on, this side of the room.
Make clients go, wow, that's awesome.
I love that one. Any other
Make it easy to keep in touch with my clients.
Make it easy to keep in touch with your client. Andy, you know you're a real estate agent.
It's giving clients their own set of powerful tools.
Absolutely. Grow your business. It's okay. Isn't it a little bit about money too?
Absolutely.
Right? Savings, increasing money, growing your team, building a team, having more time with my wife, my family, but not having to shrink my revenue. All of that, all those are good reasons, right? That's what tech should bring you. Not to replace you, should bring you benefits, right? So what's your big need? You'll get it with that. How many tools do you guys use on average to run your business?
Too many.
Too many. That's how
3
many?
or 4.
Yeah.
4.
4, 3, 4, 5, 6. I've heard some crazy numbers. And it costs you an average of sometimes $1,000, $1,500 a month. I was talking with someone yesterday, they're a team of 4, and they're using commissions in it. It's costing them $3,000 a month. US. That's crazy. That means that's commission money that's going, straight in a third-party tool. So we want to bring that money back to you. How much do you think collectively all the Keller Williams agents are investing in technology every year? Collectively,
We're
185,000 agents.
Tens of millions of dollars.
Oh, you're not even close.
Really?
It's over $1 billion.
I love
Over
that.
$1 billion.
Annually?
And annually, yeah. So the idea is to bring as much as possible back into your pocket, right? So a new agent, when he's fresh out of school, wants to become the star, he's going all in. He's going to spend big money his first year, right? So on average, you'll go from $1,500 to $6,000. Those are US dollars, by the way. Then the low-income agent, the agent that's going to do sell mom's house or just part-time, is going to invest about $750 a year. High-income agents up to $11,000. That's where we're starting to see you guys. And then you have the top 200 agents. And $120,000 a year is just an average. Some teams are spending $300,000, $400,000 a year, right? So they are beating on Gary and saying, Gary, when is this thing going to come out? because we want to save that money. We want to have it back in the pocket. How much is your tech fee? Keller Williams tech fee?
$15 a month.
No, $25. That's the amount of money that for the last 7, 8 years I've been going to Austin for tech. It's $25. Do you think that because we're investing $4 million a week, that we're going to increase your fees?
Not.
No, ever. We're not. That's a good news.
We have that on video.
You have that video. And just for that alone, that means that we have someone in Austin that understands the game, right? So we are financing it on growth. But to begin this journey, like 3.5 years ago when Gary Keller said, you know, we got to do something because we have those big tech companies that are not in real estate. They're tech companies trying to get our agents' money. And if we don't do something, we're doomed. We're doomed. Nobody's seeing it. So 3.5 years ago, he decided to start building the tech. But before he did, he asked some advice around. And someone told him, that some expert told him, well, Gary, if you want to go on that journey, it's going to end up costing you $400, $500, $600 million. I mean, that would scare me, right? It didn't scare him. He said, okay, let's go, let's start. He just wrote a check. So he's footing the bill for all of this. He's not asking you to pay for it. He's doing it. That's pretty cool. You can't have that at Remax or Royal Page. I don't mind the brand. I mean, just the fact that someone decides to become a real estate agent, they already get all my respect. They might not have made the right choice, but that's okay, right? But the Remax and Royal Pages as well, they can't do this. Why? Because they have a board of directors. And if Phil Soper goes to see the board of directors of Brookfield and said, hey guys, I got a big project here, it's going to transform our business, but it's going to cost $500 million. The first question is going to be asked, will this bring value to our shareholders in the next 3 months? Because that's how publicly traded companies work, right? So, talking about big tech, who's heard about Zillow? Okay, you all did. Great. Who can tell me who they are, what they do? Nobody knows?
Don't they
Aggregators
of
of data.
All
And
the
they're in
data.
the US more than here in Canada.
Yeah, they've been in the US for 10 years.
They sell the data back to the agent.
They sell the data back to the agent.
Based on the agent's own listings.
Right, so they claim to be a lead generator.
Yeah.
Well, you already have your listings on Creo, right? On Realtor.ca. And when you get a lead on Realtor.ca, do they charge you a fee? No. You're listing your lead, right? Now, Zillow, they want one thing. And what's that?
Part of your money.
Your money. You're right on it. But to get your money, they need your data. Right? So they're going to get your data, and they say, put your listings on Zillow. We're going to show it to the world. Right? It's already out there, by the way. But we're going to show it to the world. And then when the consumers go on the platform, they're going to click on your listing, but the lead's going to go to somewhere else.
Somebody who's paying them more.
Somebody who's paying, they have what they call a premier agent subscription, where let's say you become the premier agent for a postal code, and you're allowed 30% of the lead max. Then it's going to cost you $250, $300, $350 a month. Then Irene comes around, calls up Zillow and says, I want to be the premier agent in that postal code. Yeah, okay. How much do you give? How much do you offer? It's an auction-based thing. She's going to say, I'm going to give you $1,000. She's going to get the leads. You won't get it, but they're still going to get your money. Understand the game? Last year, there's a guy that spent $8,000 a month on Zillow. Yeah, he generated business, no kidding. I mean, if I give you $8,000 a month, you want that $8,000 to keep coming, right? So I'm going to send you some business. Well, basically, Trulia and Zillow, right now, they're only Century 21, Better Homes and Garden, and Right at Home. have signed up to give them the business.
Sage Realty in Toronto.
Sage Realty, okay, so it's a minority, right? And even the CEO of Century 21, who signed the deal, was fired 2 weeks ago. And so that's pretty cool, because he was an ex-Zillow guy. So no wonder, right? So Korea is not for it, Remax is not for it, Page is not for it, we are definitely not for it.
So they will have partial data.
They're gonna have probably 5, 6, 7% of the listings.
They won't get stuff off the trash.
So they won't get off, no, they won't, it won't work.
Because
It won't work because they won't have the data.
If you pull up Zillow Toronto right now, it shows about 9 active listings in the city.
Yeah, and when you go for the
As
details, it's
a
nothing.
consumer.
Yeah,
I'm not
so,
getting that.
and they claim they have already 500,000 clicks a week or something like that.
But Trev cannot give them, they can't.
Trap cannot, brokerages have to do permission.
Because on the listing, right?
The franchises.
Yeah, the boards cannot do that.
The individual.
Whereas the MLS is gonna do that. All right, so what do they want? They want you to become the functionary in a deal. Eventually, that's what their business plan is. They want to give you 1 to 1.5% of the deal.
Generous.
That's a deal, eh?
Wow.
Well, the Redfin, Purple Bricks, Open Door, and, they all look alike. They are more on the model that you are an employee of them. To give you an example, last year, a Redfin real estate agent, he moved $50 million worth of business. At the end of the year, he made $150,000.
15
No, 50
$50
million. And he
And he made
made
$150,000.
$150,000.
Clearly accounting wasn't a strong suit.
Would you be interested in becoming an employee if you did that? No.
Why would he do that? Like he clearly has the volume.
Because
He's
they
not a
are
salesperson.
attracting the consumers.
Oh, so
He
they
doesn't
pay them,
have-
they
he
pay them
doesn't
the $50 million worth of leads,
That's right.
which
So
he
he
can
doesn't have-
execute it
He
on.
doesn't have to do lead generation.
Okay.
Okay, like Purple Bricks. Who knows Purple Bricks? Okay, you do. Come Free. Who knows Come Free? That's Purple Bricks. They bought Come Free. All right, but that's a UK company that have deep pockets and they want to swamp the market. So they're going to become very aggressive. So if we don't do stuff, and they're providing consumers with a nice experience, right? And that's where it's the heart. The heart is the consumer. If you provide the consumer with an amazing experience, the consumer is going to go anywhere else, right? It's okay. Okay, let's say that today I start Gilles Bank. It's the 6th largest bank in Canada, just overnight. And I'm telling you, okay, I'm going to give you a blender if you switch over to my bank. What are you going to say? No, I'll give you 2 blenders.
Is it a Vitamix?
One for you, one for you.
Wow, that's tempting.
I mean,
Okay,
No, yeah.
but 20 years ago, when we worked only with checkbooks, if I provided you with a checkbook with a beautiful image on it, branded to you, and I'd say, okay, if you switch to my bank, I'm going to give you a toaster, you would switch because all that mattered was checking. Everybody was paying by check. But today you have your business, all your banking and everything is here. You won't change. I mean, it'd be a nightmare. So it's the same thing when you provide an amazing consumer experience to consumers, you're going to stick with it. Right? And that's what they're trying to do. So we need to stay away. We need to be aware. Now, if there are agents or offices that want to go on it, it's their decision. It's their business. But I would not recommend it. Absolutely not. Right? On top of it, Zillow in the States, they have what they call Zestimate. You know what that is? So you just surf a neighborhood, and you click on a house, and you see the value of that house if you sell it. Well, guess what? The president of Zillow, his own house sold for 25% less than the Zestimate.
Oh.
They are 20 to 25% off. But they don't have that in Canada. Because the data in Canada is a little bit more,
Those estimates in Canada?
Those estimates.
There's no sold data.
And even if you go on Zillow and you surf and you look at some of the listings that they have right now, They have no details. All they have is a picture and property address. They have nothing. The data
So
is
why
flat.
would they
They're trying
come
to
here?
break, they're trying to
They're
break.
They're trying,
They're trying.
they're trying. And that's why they're saying for the first year it's free. Get lost. You never charge money to get my listing to you. It's free because they don't have the premier agent yet. You can't have the premier agent yet because they don't have the leads. They don't have the traffic, so you can't do it. So they're trying to come into the market and pretend it's free for a year. So we stay away from that, we'll be fine. Right? You guys use .loop? Do you use .loop? No, you use Faltor? Next one?
What?
What do you use, Nora?
What do you use?
What do you use? Andy, what do you use? Do you use .loop? How do you use?
For electronic signatures or?
Electronic signature, documents?
DocuSign.
Oh, you guys use DocuSign?
Yeah.
.loop? Okay. Do you know who .loop is,
Owned by?
belongs to? Zillow.
Does it really?
Yeah. So we have a contract with .loop, but when Gary signed a contract with .loop, he never knew that Zillow would be buying .loop. So when Zillow bought .loop, he said that's the end of our agreement. Well, he has to respect the agreement, but when it ends, it'll end abruptly, right?
When's it end?
I believe it's this year. I believe so. We're sending them millions and millions of dollars a year. So we're feeding our own competitor. But there's a contract in place. You can just break it off, right? Our data strategy is all about you. So today your data is scattered all over the place. Who's using an external CRM right now? Other than Excel. Okay. So top producer.
Yeah.
Okay.
Google.
Mojo.
Follow-up boss.
Google, follow-up boss.
Mojo.
Mojo is a dialer.
But it is a database.
Is it a database as well?
Vault?
So, pardon me?
Real Vault?
Yeah. So if you try to get 100% of your data out of there, good luck. When you export, you can only export some portion of it, right?
What
It's-
portion of it?
I don't know, it depends from one vendor to the next, all right? So your data is scattered all over the place. You think you own the data, but guess what?
You don't.
You don't, right? Have you read the 500 pages terms and conditions? No, you don't, right? Well, our goal is to bring you on one Keller Cloud platform, one where all of your data exists, and it's yours. Who wakes up in the morning to do lead gen? Is it the IT guy? No. Who wakes up in the morning or in the afternoon and do door knocking? Right? Who should the data belong to?
Us.
That's right. So Gary Keller is a commitment, the data is yours. If one day you decide you want to walk away, we're going to give you 100% of your data. And not only are we going to do that, 30 to 60 days later, we're going to delete it from our platform. Because it's not ours. It's your data. They're probably banging on the table there. So the Keller's off. But collectively, when we have 200,000 agents bringing data into it, we're gonna leverage it like you can't believe. I was talking with the lead accelerator program manager on Monday, and he's all excited that we're doing this roadshow, and I'm promoting the lead accelerator feature or module. And he said, I just can't wait to have more and more data so that we can bring AI on it. And when we start bringing AI on it, we're gonna do wonders.
Are you using Google are they gonna be using Google for cloud services, or is it Keller's own
No,
cloud
we're
service?
using Google Cloud Platform for the infrastructure,
Okay.
but everything we develop ourselves.
Okay.
Everything that you're gonna see command, it's all built in-house. No, for the data, we're bringing in third-party data because we can't do everything. But the toolkit, the tools themselves, we build from scratch. Well, you'll see how we build that.
What about all the other legacy software that's in KW? Because now you go to KW Connect, there's like
It's all gonna be
so
gone.
many,
It's
so
all
they're
gonna
gonna
be gone.
actually wipe it
It's
out.
all
Okay.
gonna be gone.
Okay,
Agent.kw.com, that's gonna be your go-to place.
okay,
That's
that's
it.
it, okay.
We're bringing everything that's in Connect into Command. All the white pages and that stuff, it's all going away. It's going to be replaced by people in org. That's another module we're working on. Who remember MySpace?
Oh my God.
You do?
Yeah.
All right. Blockbuster. Right.
Oh, yeah.
They have their chance. They have their chance. And Travel Agent versus Expedia. Well, the good news is travel agents today are using Expedia. So. What's the difference? What's the commonality here? Technology, evolution, vision, speed to market. Why? Speed to market on the line. We have no time to waste. When you make a decision to develop technology, you have to rush, build it. Because if you don't, somebody else is going to go by. You're going to be second in no time, right? So we are doing that. We are speeding there. When you're speeding there, there's one thing. Are things going to be perfect day one?
No.
Will you expect some bumps here and there? Yeah? Are you going to be very frustrated about it?
Yeah.
No, you should not. You should not, because you have to understand that it's going to be fixed. It's going to be fixed fast. But if we wait for everything to be perfect, we're going to see everybody go by. We'll stay second. Right? So we don't want to do that. So we're speeding and speeding, and that's Gary's thing these days. Guys, we've got to deliver. I don't care if it's not perfect. It has to work. If it's missing a button here or a feature there, we'll add it, but we have to get it in the hands of our agent, right? And we need someone who understands the future, who has a vision, and takes the actions to go there.
But
Do
isn't
we have
that
someone?
what was done with all this technology in the first place, and that's why we're where we're at right now? None of this stuff was cohesive at all. It's just all over the place. And if your thinking is deliver, 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 but don't think it through, then you just end up where we are at right now.
Exactly.
Which is stuff that nobody uses.
Well, yeah, understand. Bolt-on technology is one thing, because if you have 5 partners that you're trying to integrate the pieces, they control their destiny. You don't control it, right? So they have their plans, we have our plan. It won't work. It's going to fail. And that's how all of the other brands, that's how they work today, and that's how they're going to work for a long time ahead, bolt-on. But when you build your own thing, and I'll show you how we build it, you can't go wrong. It's impossible.
Maybe I could just add a little bit to that, Simon. In the past, they just brought out a system and everybody used it, and what didn't work didn't work. Now it's a live document, so to speak. So every time somebody uses something that they don't like, it can be fixed right away because the technology.
Yeah, we don't have to go back to market leader and ask
Right.
them to make
So
changes.
it's real-time changes on a consistent basis.
Yeah.
They've got,
And we own the system.
And we own it.
Yeah.
so that's the difference.
So we have someone that understands the business, can see in the future, has a vision, and is a man of action, and his name is
Very careful.
Gary Keller, right? But he also understood that if we want to build software, we need to go to you. We have 200,000 amazing beings that know exactly what they need on a daily basis to run their business. Why not ask you? So what we've been doing, we're going through labs. So what are labs? How do we build software now? Gary Keller says, you want to have a CRM? You all want to have a CRM? Okay, I'm going to invite the mega agent from Canada and the US in Austin. We're going to stash ourselves in a room for 2-3 days. There's a whiteboard there. Guys, you want to have a CRM? Draw it. Tell me what you want. My role, my responsibility is to make it happen. Whatever it is, I'm going to make it happen. But you need to tell me what you want. So in Command, the entire thing that I'm going to show you, the buttons, the color, the workflow, everything was done by you guys. The only thing we did is to code it. That's why it makes sense.
I see.
All right? So it's no longer IT stashed in a dark room that's building it. They never sold a home. They don't know what it is lead generating. They don't have a clue. They're not doing it. They're expert at, putting line after line up. So let them do that. Here's the picture. You asked me if I was proud. Here's the picture, right? That's our labs dashboard. No, you could scroll and scroll. I mean, I remember last year we had just 4 or 5 little squares. Now we have large numbers. You know, there's one thing you should notice. What is it?
Canada flag.
Canada flags all over the map. That means it is Canada ready.
Awesome.
Now, does it mean that I didn't miss something somewhere? It's possible, right? If it happens, I'll tell you what to do. Remember this, hit the dock. Okay, so I'll get there.
Where are those lists? Are they in?
They are in KW Connect,
Yeah.
KW Connect, resources, technology, and then you have the labs dashboard. Go there, and you'll see that. That's updated all the time. So you'll see all the features and which phase they're in. Right, so we go from ideation, limited control availability, limited availability, and general availability. And who decides when it goes from one phase to the next? The agents. You give the thumbs up, we don't. Until you say it's ready to go, we keep working on it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Right, so you decide what you want, you control how it's being delivered, the whole 9 years. Have you seen that anywhere else before? Have you?
I've seen it many times. My concern here is, so you're talking to megas, right? They tend to be a little bit older. No, not everybody. They tend to be a little bit older. And the industry itself is changing, right? So the technology and the industry is changing.
Yes.
So I'm looking at this UI, it's pretty traditional stuff, right? The UX, the way it's laid out and all that good stuff. Who else is involved? Because I would hazard to suggest that somebody outside, just looking at how this thing works, workflow and all that kind of stuff, it's pretty traditional still, the way it's laid out. Who's actually the visionary? Like, I mean, I saw Josh,
Josh Team.
Right, okay, so.
Josh is the visionary, and you.
Yeah.
And you.
Well,
so
not me,
now,
not me. I'm the guy who's been on board for 6 weeks, right, in this organization.
that's
So
okay.
25
So
years.
you have,
But again, we're
you're part of the game.
Where I'm going with this is, I'm looking at a lot of this here. It's great, and it's the architecture is much better laid out. But what about tomorrow? Like, because AI is here, right, and ML is here as well, and so I hear Gary talking about all of that stuff, but
Yeah.
at some point, this is going to become old. Like very quickly, I imagine, because like a lot of what's done here isn't tomorrow. You know what I mean? Like it's today, and it's sort of like I've been working in IT for 25 years now, most of consulting strategy. So when you start looking at digitizing an existing process, it's great, right? Because that's doable. But what about what's coming tomorrow? Like here's something that's design. And that's what Gary was talking about Friday.
But we're working on that.
Yeah.
We are, okay, AI is the big thing. So we're building AI. But in order to have AI, you need data, right? So there's some part of our business that we have a huge amount of data because since 1989, when Gary Keller decided to introduce profit sharing, we've started collecting data from all the offices. All offices in Keller Williams use the same back office system. So we've got records dating back to 1989. Now we're rolling that data into CloudMore, which is the back office system for command. And now we're going to add AI on top of it. And I'll share more where it's going. Give you some ideas how we're going to use AI in the platform. But we already have AI. What's his name?
Kelly.
Kelly. Have you used Kelly?
I have.
Okay.
Well, what I could use.
What you could use, yeah. But Kelly is learning and learning. It's like Siri, it's like Alexa. It needs a lot of input to learn the skills. And as it learns the skills, and then it becomes more friendly with you. I remember the first time I used Kelly. It wouldn't understand the damn thing I would ask it. And now, it understands much better. The same thing, I pre-ordered Google Home. When it arrived home, I unpacked rapidly, connected it, and 10 minutes later I said, this is a piece of crap. It doesn't work. But during the holidays, I opened it up and I said, okay, Google, do you know my wife? And Google said, no, but it'd be a pleasure if you introduce me to her. You see the difference? It learns, but it learns over time as we're collectively throwing data. And it's the same thing for lead accelerators, okay? Once we start pushing ads on Facebook, then we're going to monitor all of the return of those, all the clicks and from all over the place. So we know exactly what kind of ad you've put, we know what kind of templates you use, what kind of smart plans you use, and then we'll be able to tell you, oh, by the way, I see that you're about to push an ad on Facebook. Here some suggestions for you. We noticed that if you use that one instead, your ROI or your click generation will increase by that many %. That's the kind of AI, but for that we need the data. So we need to get it to start somewhere. Now, to the fact that it looks like traditional, don't blame me, don't blame IT. That's what the agents want. That's what you guys want. Currently, you're using Top Producer, Follow-Up Bus, other tools like Constant Contact, or everybody's using something. So when we ask you to come to the table and build something, where are you picking your ideas from? You're picking your ideas from the tools you use, right? So you're getting the best of each tool and we're bringing it together. If you want to have it blue, blue it is. If you want to have it red, red it is. We don't decide that no more, okay? Last year, well, every year, you guys know NAR?
Yeah.
National Association of Realtors. They represent about 1.5 million real estate agents. Every year they organize a hackathon contest. A hackathon contest, they invite industry leaders in technology, real estate, and they have 30 days from paper, ideation, creation, testing, and delivery to build an application. An application that could be used the moment they present it. Okay, it's not just something fancy and like Star Wars type thing. It has to be tangible. Do you guys have an idea who won the 2018 hackathon contest?
Can't tell you.
Williams. Would you guys like to see why we won?
Yes.
Yeah.
Sure.
Jason.
Okay, so here we are at a home in Austin, Texas, and about to do our video walkthrough. This would be with your listing agent when you're first looking to sell your home. So we begin where we are entering information about our current location with the hopes that we'll be able to use this to find additional listing information from Benutech later on. And then we gather the client contact information. Once that happens, we can start recording. So you can see this has been classified as a yard, and it will keep trying to classify, but let's walk inside and continue the tour of this home. So as you can see in this dining room, we have correctly classified it as such, and one of the cool features we've added in here is the ability to leave voice notes as well. So you can see for this dining room, this is a stone wall entry with a formal dining room and a butler's pantry. And that note was correctly taken, and then when we are actually generating this report, those notes will be tied to each particular room. You can see this home has a very nice pool. There's a video like that. See what we're classifying. Continue moving through the home into the home theater. So you can see we've classified that correctly. And let's take a peek at one of the bedrooms. Great, and with that we can conclude our tour of this home. Once you press complete, a report is generated from all of those images that we just tagged. So obviously they're not all correct. So we allow the listing agent or the seller to go through and click which photos they would like to use, as well as we try to automatically add attributes to each room. So and allow those to be edited as well. So if the agent wants to remove any of these, as well as adding their own. And once you are finished with this, you can press create report, and this will automatically allow you to either copy or share a link, which will lead to a landing page and show your home, along with all the attributes and everything you have added.
It's pretty cool, isn't it?
So is that from Kelly?
This is a tool that Keller Williams developed in 30 days, and they follow the same labs process. So they sat with agents and consumers for the first few days to make sure that they were on the right path, and then they started coding it, testing it, and then they showed it and they won. Now, there's a bunch of things you saw this for the first time. And I don't know, probably 25 times I see it. And I'm seeing something new each time. You see the tags that came up automatically? That's not the agent that added those tags. It's our AI that doing the scanning and the image analysis, extracted information. So we now know, just by walking around, it is a ceramic floor, hardwood floor, what kind of kitchen cabinets they are, etc., etc. So that's why you can remove those. But it's our AI that discovered that. So let me give you a tangible application without using this. But reusing the AI that we've built behind it. With our new consumer experience, let's say, Philip, that I'm your client, and I have your Keller app, and I start looking for a neighborhood in Toronto, and I say I want to have a 2-bedroom, a swimming pool, a garage. So now the app starts learning about me from that moment on. It's not a static thing, it learns. And then I'm going to say, okay, there's 15 listings that popped up. I'll go to the first one, I scan through the picture, and I hit the kitchen. Then I hit the backyard. I go to the second listing. I hit the kitchen. I hit the backyard. What do you think is going to happen on the third listing?
It's gonna show you the
Kitchen first.
It's going to show you the kitchen first and the backyard first. And let's start creating what we call a home DNA. What I do like. When I bring that picture up closer, it's going to show me all the tags that the AI found with the tool or without the tool. I could just take a photograph, a picture, load it in, and our AI will be able to analyze the picture. Then it's going to show me hardwood floor, and I'm going to click like. And it's going to show me ceramic tile. I'm going to click don't like. The app is learning about me. So now when I start creating a collection of properties, only the first ones that are match my home DNA are going to show up. Right? Another example, it's summertime. I know I want to move into a neighborhood. So I go on my bike, I have your application, and click go. I start biking around, right? And when I get to destination, I click stop. Now the app has collected all the listings that match my DNA along the way. It's pretty cool, right? So it's doing your job. So it's filtering, all the listings that are matching my preferences. So just that technology alone is going to be a huge benefit.
Jill, I think there's a question back there. Is that part of Kelly, or is that something separate? Or is that something?
Like, if I've
It's
got-
part of the consumer experience.
if-
which
how do we make that video that that guy did?
You like that, eh?
Yeah, like, okay, I've got a new listing, what do I do? How do I?
That's not available for you today. That was just to win the contest.
Oh,
We needed to build, it will be available. It will be available. But we needed to build the AI behind it. That's really what's in it. It's the AI that won the contest. It's not the fact you can do that. Those are the 7 tools of command. Lead generation, nobody needs that, right? You guys need that?
Yeah.
Okay. Pipeline management. Who can tell me at the push of a button, anyone in the room here? We've got some 10 years here, right? 10 years in Keller Williams. We've got some 20 years in real estate, I'm pretty sure. So who can tell me at the push of a button, you have your month to date, year to date, you know exactly how much you're going to close next month, the next 3 months, as far as your sellers, your buyers, just not even a push of a button, just opening up the screen. You do? That's cool.
Well, a couple of.
Oh, as well? That's amazing.
One screen, no.
It's amazing.
Someone's, well,
So pipeline management is something that you should know. because you should know what's coming as far as business, right? Database, so your database management, last, I think, Gary Keller's always said it, your business is your database, your business is your database, right? So database is a big thing. Smart plans, that's the tool, the action plans that make sure that you nurture your database, that you stay in touch with your database, and smart plans is also the tool that's going to automate your workflow, your task automation.
Gilles, is the goal that all this is being worked on, or is it going to be launched at family reunion?
I'll tell you what's available.
Okay,
Lead generation is available, pipeline management is available, database management is available,
smart plans?
smart plans just about,
Okay.
okay? So it should be there. I can see them in QA, so which is, we have 3 environments, development, QA, and production. So they're in development and QA, they're not in production yet. By family reunion, it should be there,
Canadian?
of course.
So is the expectation that by family reunion, this will be 99% complete?
Well, I'd say about 85, 90%. The team management, I'm not sure it's all going to be there. Some part of education and training, because moving Connect into Command is, we don't want to move the mess into another mess. So we're reworking it all. And the goals, statistics, financial and statistics, I haven't seen any report yet. But that could wait a little bit.
And the idea is it's never fully done because they're constantly
Yeah,
growing.
that's right.
and expanding.
It's always work in progress, all the time, all the time, all the
And
time.
the transaction document management, is that a proprietary development?
Well, didn't you
No,
know
we're okay. So who's using web forms here? You should all be doing that, right? Do you guys know that web forms is gone in 2019?
What?
that? Well, we're in
What?
2019, so what month?
What? You guys don't know?
No.
Read the news. Yeah, it's going to be replaced
Where is it gonna
by
go?
Intranet forms.
Is that what the
Intranet
Treb's,
forms.
that's what Treb's doing? I saw that. Insurance.
Right. So Intranet forms has been the platforms of choice in Quebec for the whole province for the last 5 years. They've been using their electronic signature. Authentisign, you guys know Authentisign?
Yeah.
That's
Free.
Intranet.
Free with Trip.
Transaction debt, they're free with Trap, exactly. Look, e-signature as well? Is Authentisign
Authentisign is
free?
what?
Yeah, okay.
It's free, but we.
Well, it's not free.
It's good.
You pay for
It's
trap.
good, I find it
Yeah.
good. Hey, remember, guys, I have a little bit of knowledge in that because I created Faltor, and we have document management, electronic signature, and all that, right? So I can tell you, Authentisign is not bad at all. Keep in mind that electronic signature today is a commodity. It's
So-
not a core of your business. It's
So
a
what we're
commodity.
seeing here is we are not going to need all that because we're going to have it in,
Okay, document management, it's already built in. It's just not released yet. Transaction management, we are going to use either DocuSign or Instanet, because we're integrating with Instanet as well. Instanet is a company from London, Ontario, and they are providing form services to over 600,000 agents in North America. They're a little magical thing that nobody know about. So we are integrating with them, integrating. So what does that mean? Let me give you an example. When web form's gone, Instanet is replaced by Instanet, you'll be able to go on Instanet form, create a listing kit or an agreement of purchase and sale, a purchase kit, okay, or an offer kit, and that's going to travel here automatically.
okay.
That's going to create your contact, update your pipeline. It's going to do all of that automatically. Or you could open one of your contacts record, hit make an offer, put in the MLS number. It will auto-populate a form. You put in the offer price, date, terms, that will automatically fill your agreement of purchase and sale and send it out for signature. You will never leave command.
Nice. I love it.
Okay, so that's where we're going. Yes.
So I've heard you sort of pop DocuSign in there every now and then. Is your recommendation that if we currently use web forms and DocuSign that we start to explore Authentisign? Or how do we do this transition?
It'll be your choice. You'll be able to use either DocuSign or Authentisign free of charge.
DocuSign or Authentisign,
Today
free
you're
of
paying
charge.
for DocuSign,
Yes,
right?
we are, yeah.
Like $129 a year, $200
Yeah.
a year,
Yeah.
whatever, that's gonna be included for free. That's gonna be your choice.
So when it's included for free though, how does that migration happen? Do we lose
What
all
I'm
our
showing you,
old?
that's all gonna be included for free.
Okay, but is this like a new DocuSign account or does it take our old DocuSign
Nope,
account?
your old DocuSign account.
Okay. So we don't have to worry about migrating?
No.
Okay.
No, I'll show you where you're gonna connect
Okay.
those accounts.
Okay.
I have a question over there? No?
It was just a general question regarding, it seems like the theme is that Command has just built a bunch of APIs to take a bunch of different platforms.
No, 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 no,
And
no,
put them
no,
into
no,
one
no,
place.
no, 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 no. We have an API to connect to third party, but everything that you see there, we built it up.
Yeah, no, I understand that, but like DocuSign, Instanet, Facebook, Twitter, Gmail, Google AdWords, all these, just you built it so you can access it through Command,
Absolutely.
right?
Absolutely, yes. Yes.
Sorry, I was sort of looking around. This might be slightly off topic, but it relates to what James said. When you go into Command and you go into your settings and it looks at all your connected applications, I know KW's been big into KW video, and I'm noticing that they've got MailChimp there, but they don't have BombBomb. So how do we integrate?
One step at a time.
Okay.
One step at a time. It's all coming together.
Okay.
It's all coming together. It's overwhelming the work that's taking place right now.
Right.
Right? Team management, education and training, so we will make you available all of the tools, education, coaching, and that you have on Connect right now. And AI is going to be a big part of that too. For example, we're going to continuously monitor your profile and performance. And you might get a Kelly suggestion that pops up, says, look, we've looked at your productivity. And for people of your similar productivity that have taken that course or that course, have increased their productivity by so much in such a period of time. We've noticed that there's a course in your neighborhood that's going to be given on that date. We looked at your agenda and see that you're available. Click here to register. That's the kind of thing, because we're monitoring the result of everything that's happening, so we can recommend you, we can make your recommendation. No, it's free to you to do it, yes.
Now, is that going to be done on like a genuine basis, or is that just going to be constantly pushing like maps coaching, maps coaching, maps coaching?
No. That's not the idea. The idea is to bring it to you once in a while, and just based on specific triggers,
Okay.
right? We're not trying to sell maps. We're trying to make you valuable, that's all.
Yeah.
And if you don't like it, you just disable notifications, that kind of thing, that's it.
Joe, in
Yes.
the financials, will there be an income and expense program? Is that part of the
What?
income and expenses, just tracking, obviously income, yes.
No, I haven't heard anything yet like,
P&L.
yeah, I know what you're talking for the agents, yeah.
But wouldn't that be under gross
Monitoring.
financial and stats?
That's
Yeah.
what I'm just asking.
Yeah.
But I haven't heard anything that has been started yet. I know exactly what you're talking about. I want to track my mileage, track my expenses versus my revenue. Every 3 months, I want to push on a button and it generates my tax report. And yeah, I haven't heard anything yet. What's the American tools that they have?
QuickBooks?
No, Keller Williams released and they just gave up on them.
I don't know.
Okay, so here are the features that are currently available. I ran out of space.
Are you able to send us this? Easy to get the slides.
I told you I ran out of space.
Are you going to send us this presentation, or do we need to take pictures of what's up
No,
there?
you just have to log in the command and start using it. I'll show it. We're going to dive in. I mean, I'm just about to leave the PowerPoint presentation. Yes?
Since I came in, I've just been playing around with some of it, and I've noticed some bugs. Do you want to talk about them now? Because not everything on that list is working.
I'm a tech director. I'm not the support guy.
Well, yeah.
But I can
Should
help
I
you.
tell them, or do you want to tell them?
You contact support.
Okay.
You hit the dog.
Sorry?
You hit the dog.
Hit the dog.
Okay.
There's a dog on the bottom right-hand corner, every time he's got something, just send that off.
So for everything that's coming your way, if you don't like it, you just go out and buy your own, but the whole platform is gonna cost you $20 a month, $25 a month. Okay. It's pretty impressive.
That's included in our monthly fees, right? Or is that?
That's part of your monthly fees. You're already paying for that.
Yeah.
So you're not gonna pay, penny more. Okay. That's gonna be your dashboard, the agent dashboard in Command. It is almost ready. It's not ready yet. So that's why you don't see it when you log in. Currently when you log in, that's what you see, right? So let's get to it. So I'm logged in. The first thing you want to do when you log in, you want to go to your settings. Settings are just under your name. You go to settings and you connect your account. Facebook, yes?
Sorry, I think I'm signed up for labs and everything.
Doesn't matter anymore.
Okay, because
You
I
just log
can't
in.
get into that, I don't know why.
Well, you have to go to agent.kw.com. Just try to log in. And it won't let you log in?
It just, the regular KW page comes up, the external one.
No, don't.
No, you
Don't put the W,
www.
remove the W in front, just agent.kw.com.
Our Facebook, do you know?
I did that, it still happens.
It's because when you hit enter, it brings back that www again.
So, agent.
.kw.com, that's it, enter.
Sorry.
kw.com. Just make sure that you don't enter on the
The www.
just, no W, just agent.kw.com. It'll take that, it'll take you there for sure. All right, so just go to settings. Just to connect your accounts, your Gmail account, Facebook account, Google Calendar, Google Contacts are just probably going to be released this week or next week. Yes?
This is an odd question, but would you be able to disconnect and reconnect your Gmail?
Yes, you can.
I just tried and I wasn't able to connect. I just got an error message from the Gmail. I was wondering if that was just something that was wrong with
I have no clue
right?
whatsoever. So, yeah, hit God.
So
Or give them a call.
what number do we call? When we start doing this and it's not working, what number do we
I'll
call?
send, I'll give it to you.
That is it.
It's a toll-free number in Austin. I don't know it by heart.
Okay.
So once your accounts are connected, the other thing that is very important, who's using an external CRM right now? Okay, most of you that are using a CRM, you use what we call tags, right? Tags, that's how you slice and dice your database. Sellers, buyers, dog lovers, golf lovers, whatever. So here, you're gonna have your custom tags. So you have tags that already pre-exist. You just go through, and if the tags that you use in your current database don't exist, create them, okay? What's gonna happen is that when you want to export your contact from your existing database into Command, the first thing you're gonna do is clean up. Don't bring everything that you wouldn't like to bring. Clean it up first, right? Second thing you're gonna do, to import your database, you're gonna have to go, for a lot of them, getting Wi-Fi right now, right? You're gonna go here. That's the import. And if you want to have the Excel spreadsheet to the template, just open it up. You have all the possible columns there, so that way you can, make sure that the tags are there and everything. You just copy and paste from your, but just do 10 or 15 the first time, just to make sure it's okay. Don't work 3 days, and before, swearing and swearing. Just do 10 or 15 and import it, and it's gonna go. The import, I I did it the first time, it failed, second time it worked. One magic thing, duplicate email. Don't have duplicate emails in there because it's gonna fail. You can't have twice the same email.
So you can't have it,
You can't.
but where, like in the import.
When you try to import, in command, that's a unique field, right? It's an indexed, unique field. You can't have twice the
So if
same
you've got
value.
two clients with the same email
You
address,
can't.
it's not gonna import them.
You can have two John Smith, but as long as they have different emails.
So what if you don't have an email for, like you have a husband and
You
wife?
have to have, no, you have to have an email.
Okay, so what you're saying is bottom line, for this to import successfully, you must have a unique email for each individual contact,
Correct.
regardless if you have two
Correct.
people on the property.
Correct. Well, when if I have a husband and wife,
Sorry, there's lots of elderly people that do not have emails.
Yeah.
you know, I suggest them to create one, or in the name. Or you create one
You
for them.
cannot have a record without an email
That's
address.
pretty funny.
You can't have a record in here without an email address.
Oh, Jesus.
So what you do in the person's name, you write both names. I don't know, you find a way to get around it. But
Does it have to be a valid email address, or can you create something bogus?
it could be something
Yeah,
bogus.
but you can't have a duplicate one, so you can't use the same one over and over
I
again.
bet you could say
Bogus.
Gmail 1,
Transfer
Gmail
one,
2, Gmail
transfer
3,
two.
whatever.
And listen, I've used database a lot in my life, and there's a lot of times I use bogus information just to fill in the field and say, okay, let's get over it. I'm not going to stop working my whole day just because I'm missing a little piece of information, right? But if
It's good to know though.
I can build relationship in here, father, son-in-law, etc. But you need to have those two
That is
contacts.
really a limiting factor.
Well, the upside is it means you're gonna reach out to your client and see if you have updated information.
Yeah, but I mean, to his point, there's people who have no email.
But then you just say transfer one Gmail, and transfer two Gmail, just set a unique thing, and then you know at some point, like, the upside is, I don't think I have
That's
that many,
right.
but I have to worry about.
But your point, Joe, is that you clean up the data first of all.
Clean up the data first of
So
all.
once a neighbor doesn't have an email address, you can do that usually by using Excel. Just sort, figure it out, and then go and put in those bogus email addresses, because that'll make life a lot easier.
So Gilles, if we do this on an individual basis, sorry,
I'm just trying. No, okay, I created a contact without an email address.
you did?
Yeah, so
It
I
doesn't-
remember it would refuse it, but now.
So
Okay.
it's possible you can
Correct.
create that email?
I've got a whole bunch,
But you
I've got a
can't
whole bunch of
transfer
mine.
it.
No email.
What you're
So the
saying
good
is-
news is, you can create contact without an email address.
Yeah,
Let's
you
get
just-
over it.
you just
Yeah.
can't transfer it.
How do we deal, if we do this, how do we deal with teams? Like, do we individually do this, or like, how do we,
With teams, like
partnerships?
house and wife, or
No, partnerships.
teams are coming.
So we're not doing this until the team function is there.
You do it when you think it's good for you to do it. The team is not there yet.
Can we move, like, let's say, split it in half?
Are you in the same
We're-
thing?
Yeah, we're the same
Okay.
team, our partnership. So can we each move portion over, and then when it gets to a point where you can merge, or like, can we merge our two
Like,
at
how
some
would you
point?
suggest we do this best?
You have to talk to the team program manager. So what I know is that when you work in team, you'll be able to assign
Yeah,
contacts to each one. Okay, you have your own contact, you have your shared contacts,
Yeah.
and you have your own. That's all gonna be there. When is it gonna be there? I don't know, maybe a couple of weeks, I just don't know.
so we can move forward, is it possible that we each have our own ID according to KW? Can we move, each of us take half or whatever we choose to, and implement it, but at some point, can we
Yes.
link the two? So the
Yes.
idea is we're not sitting and waiting, we're active.
The answer is
anytime.
yes.
Okay.
Or just
Yes.
use one,
And I'll
just
show
use one.
you why you wanna do that. Because, yes.
Just before you, because you just talked about this, and Bridget's mentioned this to me before, you had relationship in there somewhere?
Yes.
So is that where you link contacts?
That's when you create a relationship, husband and wife, mother and son, father and son.
But
whatever.
is that within that one transaction, within that one contact record?
That contact is now gonna be the husband or the wife of that contact.
So we'll have individual
So
contacts.
let's
Yeah,
say you're
individual
gonna have to
contacts,
link
but they're
that
linked through a
spouse.
relationship, and a relationship is named.
Yeah.
Okay? So that when you want to send direct mailer or things like that, that's gonna behave based on how you
Mr.
want
and
it.
Mrs. and whatever.
Exactly. The same thing you see in other CRMs. Okay. What I wanted to show you is once I am in someone's information, and I've linked my Google profile. If I go to timeline, I've got all my Google calendars, I've got my emails, all the email that I sent historically. The moment you add your contact in there, a couple of minutes later, all the emails that you have in here are all indexed in that contact. That is magic.
Yeah.
That is magic. Because Monday morning, I didn't have Sunny in my contact. But we've exchanged a lot of emails. So in front of everybody, I added Sunny, and 30 seconds later, I went to timeline, clicked emails, boom, they were all there. They went, wow. But to me, it's a small wow. Here's the good news. Once you have someone in your contacts, you say, hey Kelly, find Norm Fatmar. So Kelly's going to find Norm, and a little card's going to pop up, and I have 3 icons. Phone, text, email. Then I click text. Then it's going to open up my iPhone text application. I'm going to text you. But there's going to be a log entry here showing that I texted you
Yeah, that's
on that date and that time. Now it doesn't have the text content. In the same way that if I click the phone in Kelly, I'm going to have a log entry showing that I called you on that date, that time. Not if you call me, because I'm not spying your phone. I've used Kelly to call you. But once our conversation is over, I'll say, hey Kelly, add a quick note to Norm. That, okay, we just had a phone call on a price reduction of 10% and Norm agreed. That's voice to text, the note's going to go there. That's done. Now you want to use Kelly to interact with your clients all the time because it's all going to show here. It's all
Only if it goes to Kelly.
You need to go to Kelly. Now if I call you, well, it won't go through Kelly.
Right,
I'll call you on your phone.
right.
But once we hang up, you just pick up Kelly and say, add a quick note to Gilles. And you dictate your note, there it is. Now, you're not obligated to do that, but if you do that, you will never lose track of what you talk with your clients. Yes?
Quick question. So I use Apple account. Mac is my email. I go on to Kelly when it's available and everything is set and ready to roll. All my emails that I emailed, just to say one client, in that Mac email, now that client is in that database, and I can tell Kelly to pull all those emails.
You don't tell Kelly, it does it.
It's going to do it automatically.
It doesn't pull the email. Actually, when I click view email, it's going to take me to my email account.
It's
and
when
open
I'm
up the
linking
email.
it. Okay.
It indexes those emails.
Okay.
There would be no wise, it wouldn't be wise just to replicate everybody's email.
Yeah.
We would go into a tera of
Yeah.
terabytes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Cool.
But does it have to be a Gmail account that's linked to get this
Right
feature?
now, it's Gmail. Who's using Gmail here?
Okay, so
You got your answer.
that's
It's
my
Gmail for now, and we're working on 365.
Right. So I'll look.
Question following that, I've got all of my TrebNet emails coming through my Gmail account.
That's fine.
So it will identify the TrebNet and the Gmail and link
You
everything?
try it. Are you forwarding, I guess? Are you
No, it's just set up that my Gmail is managing my TrebNet account.
It's perfect. Connected.
Dude,
That's good. That's gonna work.
as long as the email comes into your Gmail
So
inbox,
so
then
this is
even
a,
if it originated
so
from
this is a G Suite so far, from what I see.
Yes.
You know, calendar as well?
Calendar as well, contact as well.
Okay, so so I'm again, certainly new here, so I'm getting set up right now. Part of the reason I put in business cards is I want to make sure I have all the right info.
Right.
So there's currently a KW.
Guys, shh. Let's focus here is a question.
So it's currently, my name at KWRealty.com.
Right.
So that, and I've been trying to figure out that whole system there. Is that about to go away and use this in lieu? Should I wait for KW Command?
You have your domain on G Suite?
The domain is currently kwrealty.com, so wherever that actually happens to live.
You have a domain called kwrealty.com?
Well, that was.
His name at KW.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
This is
And that's a Gmail account?
It's provided by the company, so.
Oh,
it's
so you
what I-
just connected.
Yeah.
You just
It's
connected.
just what I
And it's
did.
gonna work. Yeah, absolutely. And you have a calendar attached to that, as well as your contacts. So, for example, if you use a website, and you have a lead capture form, and you invite guests to capture their information, and upon being captured, if that website vendor is integrated with your G Suite, it automatically going to create a Google contact in Google, and it's automatically going to create that contact in Command. So it's going to go from your website to your Command. Once it's in your Command, you're going to have a smart plan attached to leads coming from your website, and it's going to start sending emails and nurturing, starting your 33 touch or whatever. You had a question?
Sorry, this is sort of a backtrack to filters again, and to tags. So when you say tags and we're taking stuff out of our old database, the tags are kind of like categories or groups that we were using.
Correct.
It's ways that we want to find. And so we go into Command and we set all of those before we bring our data in.
That's right, because they have to exist
Right.
in here before you match a tag,
Okay.
right? So, yeah.
Tags, categories, and groups, okay.
Right. But we have what we call, okay, to just finish off here, opportunities. So if you have opportunities ongoing with that contact, they're there. If you have past opportunities, like, there was a buyer and it once, twice, they're all there. So you have the whole history on that client record.
So that's your transaction history? Like when you say opportunities, it's not notes, it's transactional history?
Transaction history and whatever is active or ongoing right now.
GCI related.
So it's where we put them in the pipeline then?
No,
What-
pipeline is your,
So how do you define an opportunity?
an opportunity, what is it?
No, but how would you put it into the system? Like
in
if
the
these were
system?
your potential people that you didn't want to
It's
forget.
like it's a pipeline.
It is, so
It is a pipeline.
does it pull from your pipeline stuff? Like I'm just wondering where you would put it.
It's the same thing. It is, okay, if I create a new opportunity in here,
Okay,
right? It's gonna feed my contact record.
okay.
So do you
It's
create
the
the
same
opportunity
database.
in the pipeline?
It's just a different view in a different place in the application on the same data.
But where does the data originate?
Yeah, where do you
Is
put
it
it
from
in?
that
Contact.
page?
From
You create
two
that
places,
page?
from 2 or 3 places, from you, from your MCA, or from your MLS. So once we have the integration with Instanet completed, if you create a listing agreement over there, it's gonna travel here automatically, create your contact. And when you say I have a listing, what's the selling price? Give me a number.
$6.99,
$6.99. You are gonna make a commission out of that.
yes,
Right, 2.5%.
sure.
That is going to bring you money here in your pipeline. That's going to tell you you now have, if you have an appointment, okay, if I go in my appointment here, nice, at this stage, and in appointment I have 3 different stages. I've got to prepare, I've got to meet, etc. At each step of the way, it's going to give you different percentage of closing. Probability of closing. And as you move further to the right, eventually it's going to close and you're going to make the money. So that's how a pipeline works. If I do a cold call and I get a meeting, I secure a meeting with someone.
Right.
Oh, I've got 10% chances of closing that.
I
But
think-
once I met that person and I signed the listing, my chances of getting that money is 50% now. If I have an offer, then it goes to 75%. Even you determine all that.
Jill, I think there's some questions out of where it came from. So before you have a listing, the contact likely exists. Right? So you're not going to go on a listing appointment with a stranger.
Usually you'll create your contact.
So
and
you create your contact in Command.
Yes.
In where?
Well,
You just add a contact.
you add a contact here.
And once you make an appointment, it funnels into your pipeline.
You create your contact first.
Right.
Then what you're going to do, once it's created, you're going to go to create a listing presentation at the bottom here. You've got all your listing presentation workflow.
Okay.
Click, 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 click.
You're still gonna have to adapt to this. Everyone uses their own workflow right now.
That's right.
Everyone's used to this different terminology. You're still gonna have to adapt to this. And you're still gonna have to manually do stuff. It's not gonna do everything for you, and you're gonna have to get used to that workflow.
But I want to
That's just-
understand what it does do for you.
Right, but you're gonna have to get used to this workflow. He's trying to explain to us what the different parts of this is,
Right,
and
I
then
understand.
from
I
there,
understand.
you're gonna have to go in, you're gonna have to try it yourself, and you're gonna have to get used to that workflow.
Right.
That's just what it is.
I think we're just trying to understand, how do you move someone from one stage to the next? So once you've set the appointment, normally I would put it in my calendar. For it to show up on appointments, how do I get it in there? Do I enter it with the contact, or do
You just edit the stage.
I did, but I still don't understand.
Okay, so
Okay.
if I understand well, I first create a contact in my database. Okay? First I create a contact here. Once my contact is created, there's a number of things I can do. I can create an opportunity, or I can go to my listing presentation and create a listing presentation for that contact. When I create that listing presentation, it will automatically update my pipeline.
Okay.
Because I am setting up an appointment. So it will update my pipeline, and if my expected listing value is $6.99, and if at that stage it's 5% chances of closing, that's going to be my potential expected revenue. That's how a pipeline works. Yes.
So Gilles, would you summarize that in saying that all these actions that we take within Command are triggers that will then trigger an update in the pipeline?
Everywhere else, absolutely. So that's why you remember that slide with the 7 core tools of Command? There's one thing in the middle that was there. Have you guys read it? It was called Your Asset, Your Data.
Yeah.
So that's the data that's common to all the pieces. All the pieces are looking at the same data, but in different ways. So that if I create a listing presentation down here for a contact, when I get back to the contact here and I go here, I'm going to see this opportunity there. But it's the same. It's just another way to look at it. Right? So if you are in that contact, you have timeline, opportunity, your notes, and you have your smart plans. What are the smart plans currently active for that contact? What are the next steps what are the next email this contact is going to receive? You'll see all of that, right? So that you don't have to click everywhere else to have that information. Any questions so far? You're going to have to, like the gentleman said in the back, you're going to have to use it. And it's by using it that you're going to discover it, right? Okay, some people are asking, will there be training? My answer is, who gave you training? Who gave you training to use that? Come on.
You play with it?
You went to the Apple store and you sat down for 2 hours in a training session? No, you did not. Right, we're going to provide you training. We're not that done, right? So Gary right now is building, is finishing up his first live stream booth with high-tech, right? The state-of-the-art technology that we could find. We bought them. And he's building 7 of those in Austin. There you're going to have 7 live stream at the same time on any day of the week. They're going to be small live streams. Where you're going to have 7 rooms, 7 people that will be live streaming how to create a contact, how to manage your pipeline, how to do this, how to do that. So you'll have access, you'll say, okay, I'd like to see this, I'd like to know that. It's all going to be made available. We want you to make sure you use this, to its fullest.
Well, that's exactly what I was thinking. It's not just the how to use a specific feature that's important, it's for us to understand everything that's done, and like you said here, that one thing connects to the other. So sort of the bigger picture. So this is everything that is possible.
That's right.
And how does one component of the system connect to the other?
Right.
And what can you do? What can you do with it? How can you use it?
Yeah, exactly. So if I go back to my settings for a second here. So I have my Google Calendar, you have eEdge. Who uses eEdge here? You just have to connect your account, everything moves in a minute. With your notes, the whole linear, your tags, whatever. That's why? Because we've been working with eEdge for years, right? So that's connected. Who has a MailChimp account? So you connect your MailChimp account, and when the smart plan comes out, like very soon, you'll be able to start pushing emails out there. That's how we're gonna. We are connecting with Twilio. You guys know Twilio?
Yeah.
Okay, it's for text messaging. So you'll be able to send text messages. So we're not building this, we're integrating with platforms that already exist, because those are not core to the business. right? It's not everybody that will text. It's not,
So if you use these text messages, then they would actually be part of the record in command.
correct.
Well, you can
Correct.
send them from command.
You'll send them from command, and then we will know what you texted. Those text messages were configured and built in command, so we'll know.
Because it's like, we do so much with text these days, it's great to have a record. Like, it's wonderful to have email records, but a lot is done in text
Yeah.
that you want
So-
to actually keep for.
So we're integrating with Twilio for that, and Twilio is North America compliant. Yeah.
So will that allow,
TWILL or something like that.
so will that allow us in our smart plans to have a texting component that automatically goes out?
Absolutely. So what's available today? Everything that you see here. Smart plans are not available. We're going to show you a promo video over here. But I could open up the QA environment and show you some smart plans that are there. Basically, what is it? Think of it as a table with a bunch of objects. Send an email, make a call, wait, assign a task, etc. Basically what you do is you drag and drop those objects to create a workflow. Once you have done that, you open up the object and let's, for example, if it's a delay object, how long you want to wait. Send an email, wait 3 days. Send an email, wait a week. Send an email. And if the person clicked yes, branch here. They click no, branch there. Do that. That's it. And that's very complicated to build. Right? It's like Infusionsoft. Who knows Infusionsoft? Right? So it's Infusionsoft for our real estate. I've used Infusionsoft at Falter. It's complicated like it's crazy. So we're trying to build the same kind of philosophy, but make it simple. And we will have tons of smart plans for you for free. So the way it works the same thing as Sketches. So if I go to Sketches here, if I go to KW Sketchbook, I have Sketches there. I can open up a sketch. If it opens. Sketchbook. Let's try that.
I was trying that earlier and I couldn't get it.
Yeah, it looks like something is.
What is a sketch?
It's like a
Canva,
one-page-
you know Canva?
Mm-hmm.
Same thing.
It's what?
Oh.
Canva, it's to create your flyers, your posters, your email templates, your, it's all, everything.
Social media posts.
Yeah. Okay, so let's go here. I'm gonna create one. So let's say I create a web. And then I can say, if I go to my widget, so I can create a header, a body, I can import images, videos, whatever. But if I go to widgets, I do this, I do that, then I bring local insight, and I'm gonna say market snap. Boom. It's that simple. Then what you do, you put your postal code, that's a local insight that you've created. It takes literally seconds to start creating things. That's the same way you're gonna create a landing page.
And so
Landing pages are here.
that isn't a regular interactive map that they can look at listings on?
Yes,
Thank you.
yes. And it will remain interactive. That means
It's updated.
if it's updated behind the scene automatically.
Mhm.
So as we get the data feed, your market snaps are automatically updated. What's a snap? Can someone tell me how to use Kelly to snap?
Kelly Market Snap for M3B. Or
What's
just
it?
Market Snap.
Yeah. Or just say snap. You just snap.
She likes it when I call her by name.
Okay, for example. Snap. That's it. I'm gonna mark it snap. So there are, just in this neighborhood here, 67 active listing. Average listing price 296,308. If I look at it fully, that's the sold data we don't have, but that's gonna start coming in at the end of March. Okay, from Tread. So that snap that you moved here. So once you move the widget, you're gonna edit it, put the postal code in the snap and the insight, and then it's gonna stay updated all the time. So if you create a landing page and I go at it today, and I see 29 listings, and you guys are work together and you sign up 5 more listings, when I go tomorrow, I'll see 34. You're never out of date. Yes?
Sorry, I'm just trying to figure out how to use this, but so if I've got that data and I'm out with a client, then they're relying on me to say that. Is the KW app gonna be the client version of what we have in Kelly in terms of transmitting
They'll see the same
information?
snap in the KW app.
It is the same, okay.
Yeah. We're not gonna create 2 snaps.
No, but when you're trying to explain this to your clients and share the technology with them, are we sort of assuming that the KW app is their equivalent to our Kelly in terms of the value that we're bringing them?
No, you're gonna bring more value to your clients. The consumer app is going to help the consumer to dig in and look for information on his own, right? But you will probably add a little bit more to it, right? Number one, before a consumer gets your app, it has to be your client.
Right.
Right?
Right.
So in order for that person to be your client, you have to do your pitch.
So,
So most likely you're going to do an amazing listing presentation with command. It's going to take you a couple of minutes, but it's going to look like it took hours to build it. You're going to send that listing presentation to your client. Your client's going to be wow, because you're going to provide your client what nobody else can.
right.
Right? Who has created insights in command or Kelly in this room? Congrats, congrats, congrats. You did as well? So why are those insights there for?
To help with this.
It's to help you create stories on your neighborhood, right? To make you look like I am the local expert here. So if you create insights for neighborhoods, you're just driving in front of a nice park, or I don't know, a nice church, great school, just take a picture, you're geolocalized, you say it's a school, create a little story on it. So when you start creating listing presentations, you're going to show your client how you promote your neighborhood, how you're going to promote their property. Nobody else can do that, right? Or what you could do is you could go to your local little business, small businesses, and say, okay, a bakery. Would you mind if I promoted your bakery in our application? But it's not a marketing stunt or whatever. I'm just going to take a picture because I think you cook the best bakery in the neighborhood. So what have you just done? You're just creating a relationship with your local business people. They're going to be here. They're going to love it. So if they ever need services, who do you think they're going to think of first? You're creating a relationship. So you can use insight in that regard as well. Yes?
Where are they pulling the listings from that clients are going to be seeing?
We're pulling listing from currently IDX,
Okay.
Treb IDX.
Okay.
So we're pulling from Treb, from DDF,
Mm-hmm.
and Treb IDX, and whatever we don't see in DDF, what we see in IDX, we publish it, and reverse as well. So we get the best out of it too, because it happens sometimes people opt into DDF, but did not opt into IDX. It happens, so we're getting the two, and combined we're getting maximum visibility.
Because that was the biggest thing that I would get from people that I was trying to get people to use the app beforehand. And the biggest thing was, I just use Realtor, it does the exact same thing.
Well, Realtor.ca had 100% of listings.
Yeah.
Right? I love Realtor.ca, I love Korea, but it's a monopoly.
Yeah.
That's what it is. Only they have the right to
So, I
show
guess,
100% of listings in Canada. That's not fair to us.
so I guess what I'm saying is, I have a client, they're in this neighborhood, they do a snap on the app, they go to Realtor.ca. Realtor.ca is still gonna have more listings.
Correct.
Not 100%.
Correct.
Okay.
But you can't do a snap on Realtor.ca, so, right? So what's going to be more impressive to your client? Okay, so let me do this. Have you ever shared a snap?
Have I done it?
Yeah?
No.
Okay, what's your email address?
SimonRodriguez@me.com, SIMON rodrguez.com.
Have fun.
So, Jill, sorry, I'm just still trying to wrap my head around Kelly's relationship to KW Command. So it sounds to me like you have to learn all the terminology in KW Command, like local insights or whatever, so that Kelly translates what you would do on your computer to your phone? Would that be
Yes.
a way of?
Kelly is just an application, on your phone.
No, I understand that, but you're talking about training Kelly. I'm assuming it's already pre-populated with the terms you're using in command. So when you're using, like, KW is known for having its own lexicon. And I'm just trying to wrap my head around, the first time I see, insights or some of the other terminologies you've used, I just translate that verbally into the Kelly app. And what I would see on my computer if I clicked that is sort of the same functionality.
Same thing, absolutely.
Okay, all right,
So
got
if
it.
I go here, if I go to insights, they're here. Now it's trying to fetch the insight in the neighborhood where I am. I can create a new insight. What is it? Is it an airport? Is it a school? It's a drop-down list, so you start typing what you want. What is the location? You give it the address. So what's the address here?
2968.
Oh yeah, that's right. 2968 Dundas.
Street West.
Dundas Street West. Here it is. It knows exactly where it is. And then you give it a name to your insight. Amazing Market Center, right? And then you put your own story. You click Save Insight, and then it becomes available to everybody.
So you might want to save an insight for the office. So if you're trying to get clients to come in for a meeting or to sign contracts, you would send them the insight, and this tells them all the parking details and everything, like that type of thing?
No.
Could
No,
you use
not
it for
really.
that?
Insights or marketing?
It's marketing purposes.
It's only marketing, you
Yeah,
can't use it
it's to
for.
promote your neighborhood, not
Yeah.
to create events or whatever. It's to promote your neighborhood. Show people you're the local expert.
And promote you.
Yeah, that's right. So
Uh,
we're gonna have in April, no, in March, April. In April, we're gonna bring in PutQ data into here. So you're gonna have all the schools catchments, all the parks, all the equipment in the parks. You're gonna have all the transit, all the public services. We'll be able to tell you what's the walking time between your address and the nearest bus stop. Okay? So that's all coming into a snap. Now, what you want to add on top of that is your own neighborhood stories that Google doesn't have, that HoodQ doesn't have, that this amazing little business here, best bakery, the best restaurant, so that when you create a listing presentation, all of this is coming together, and it shows your prospect that you are the best go-to agent.
Does that include walk score?
Yes. Well, I don't know if we're going to call it score. I don't remember all the data sets, but yeah, you're going to have the walking time between your address and the metro station or the bus station. Yeah.
I think HoodQ has a walk score.
Yeah. I'm just not sure.
Isn't there a website called Walk Score
There
that
is.
provides? I don't think.
But I think one of the important things are schools, right? Schools and school catchment, very important, and they have 100% of all schools in Canada.
And that'll be connected directly to the education board so that the catchment changes, it'll be updated.
They are,
Immediately.
they have links, you can click on the link, take you to the board, take you to the school.
No, you're saying it's gonna pull the catchments, but that'll change when catchments change.
That's right. It's created every year by people. It's not machine created. It's created by people. That's why we went with HoodQ, which is a Toronto-based company, by the way. So Website Boss was Toronto-based, HoodQ is Toronto-based, Instinet is Toronto-based. So we're trying to bring as much Canadian flavor into it. And in Kelly, your market snap will be by neighborhood. They will go from postal code to neighborhood. Right now we are using postal code, so they'll go by neighborhood. We'll still be able to do by postal code, but
So it's more granular.
It'll take
it's
trips
more
neighborhoods.
granular.
Yeah.
More granular, yes.
So where do you get the actual names of the neighborhood? Because MLS was different from the sort of the locals, so I'm curious.
We have it from HoodQ.
HoodQ.
HoodQ has the neighborhood names,
Okay,
and Pitney Bowes provide the neighborhood boundaries.
okay.
So we're mixing the two together.
How's that gonna?
Pitney Bowes, they're huge. They're huge. So we're trying to get the best data, sources that we can, wherever it comes from. It's the same thing. If I take you here, for example, this little icon here that you see, so it looks like a whistle, right? I cannot show it to you because it's not there. It's working in dev and QA. When someone sends you an offer, right? They usually send PDF. So they went on web forms, filled in the form, they send it to you. You're literally going to drag your email attachment. You're going to drag it here, and automatically it's going to extract the contact information, the property address, the offered price, the terms, and it's OCR with big AI behind it. And it's going to fill all of that into command, update your pipeline because you now have a new offer. And if you get a second offer that same day, then command is going to say, oh, you have a second offer for the same property. Now that you're going into a multi-offer scenario, here's what's going to happen. Based on history, here's what's going to happen. Now that's not going to happen tomorrow. It's over time. As data is being populated, we're going to learn more. So we'll be able to tell you, for this kind of property in that neighborhood, when you get into a multi-offer scenario, you usually get 4 offers. Here's the time lapse, and here's the price gap. So what does that give you on the second offer? It gives you ammunition to go back and see your client and have clever conversation. That's not only me that says this is going to happen. It's our artificial intelligence that says this might. Right? So when we were looking for the technology, for this OCR technology, we went scouting everywhere, trying to find the best tech out there that has AI. We found it, and we wanted to make sure that they were exclusive to Keller Williams and not go to Remax and other. We bought them. That's it. We just bought them. So, I don't remember the name of the company. I can find out. Yeah. So that way they can't do it for Remax or anybody else.
Gilles, before you leave insights, will those eventually be available to everybody that's on Kelly? Or is it just?
They are available to everybody that's on Kelly.
Yeah, you're sharing it when you put it in, right?
You do that.
But you need people to validate them. You need people to validate them and like them or something to.
But, so, that's,
I don't like to do that. I'm in prod, so if I create an insight, it's gonna mess up your neighborhood. I don't want to do that.
So if I have a listing in Mimico, and I know Philip and Irene do a lot of work on there, I can go into Insights and poach all of their wonderful marketing and insights on the neighborhood and put it into my publication.
They're available automatically when you just.
It's automatic.
So if you have 25 agents that have created insights in the neighborhood, when you drag it, you see all of those insights. Right? But
I think I underline.
But sharing within the world of Keller Williams.
Of Keller Williams only.
Yeah.
That's right.
And you also have to like the insights over time.
You can like.
Yeah, because like if you want to make them valid and shown, and if they're good, you want to like them so that they appear. Because if you have 20 insights, you want the top.
So you see, I've zoomed out. I have a couple of insights here. The restaurant was done by agent Andrew Sanchez. I can vote up or vote down. If too many people vote down, that's going to trigger Austin. And Austin's going to jump in and take a look, why are people voting it down? And then we might take it away. But otherwise, we don't intervene at all.
I would imagine there's going to become a lot of duplicates in there.
No, well, what happens is when you are somewhere and you're trying to create an insight for a place, it's going to tell you, hey, there's already an insight for that place. Do you still want to continue? Or do you want to see that other insight? You take a look at it, you like it, you vote up, you're done. You don't have to create. We don't want a messy insight.
And you don't have 70 insights for the same thing.
No, that's ridiculous, yeah. So we rely on you guys to be, use your judgment. You had a question there? Okay.
So back to the offer thing, you know, if you have one offer coming in or two offers coming in, oftentimes when you're working with buyers and it's a limited time frame and you're dealing with whatever the market's doing at the time, if they were going to offer on something or they did offer on something, well, no, if they were going to offer on something but they didn't, and you call the next day to find out how many offers there were on that listing, is there a place you can put that so that it's not only just the offers you receive, but what's actually happening in the marketplace?
No.
No? Okay.
The way command is going to work is going to work for sellers, right? So if you're, well, for buyers, if you want to make an offer, you're never going to get, you're going to get into a multiple offer scenario, but at the selling hand, so you don't control it. But when you are the seller and you have multiple offer, they're all going to show side by side in that account. It's going to show the whole breakdown of the cost. It's going to show the exact amount of money the customer is going to end up in his pocket with, so that you can, on a push of a button, you can send that report to your client.
Right, so that's helping you manage your seller and your listing, but
Correct.
there's nothing comparable on the buy side for helping you make the offers as you collect information for that discussion?
No.
Okay.
Yes?
So are you saying that the only listings that will show up are KW listings
No.
eventually?
No.
No.
They're all showing up.
All
They're all
listings?
showing up here.
Okay,
Yes.
now,
Yeah, now.
well, so how do I see that?
How do you see that? You go to listings. You go to listings here. I'm not an agent, so I don't have any listings. You go to listing search, and I'm just going to wait. There's going to be a search that pops up. Give me an address.
Is it
Oh,
2968?
but listings
No,
is,
is it for sale?
No.
Where's listings?
Oh, it
Listings
doesn't
is
populate just on the map?
Listings is whatever is
What's
right
yours?
here.
West
but
Waste.
on our front page, listings is in our coming soon part, it's not above the
Oh,
coming
it's
soon.
not there?
No.
Oh, it's there for me, sorry guys.
Okay, yeah, it's not,
Oh,
it's
so
not there
that's
for
why.
us.
So
Yeah,
that's
it's not
the
there for us.
It'll be there, but there's another way you can see listings, and it's time to dive into something very, very
So want to
exciting.
give me your address?
You guys can go to lead accelerator. Yes?
Just a quick question about the listings. Keller, our brokerage is part of an exclusive network of listings. Do you know if it's
Which is
possible?
Broker Bay or?
Yeah,
Broker Bay?
yeah.
Okay.
Do you know if it would be possible to eventually integrate those listings into Command as well?
Everything that you load in KWLS will be there. So if you load your, if you don't load your listings on the MLS and you load it exclusively on Broker Bay, how does it get there?
Yeah, but
you
broker-
could-
It doesn't jump there. So it has to get there somehow. There's two ways that it can get there. You put in manually, or eventually we build an integration with Broker Bay, right?
That was my question.
So,
Yeah.
We need the integration
I've been
because
talking with
it's-
Sunny. Sunny's been pounding on me. Jill, you need to talk to Austin about Broker Bay.
Yeah,
I will talk to Austin about Broker Bay, but it's going to take a little bit of time.
But if you put it onto KWLS, it will go.
It'll
in.
show up.
Yeah.
It'll show up.
But isn't Broker Bay all exclusive?
yeah, so broker bay is
They don't have to
everybody's
cooperate.
exclusive that
Yeah.
uses broker bay, so
So-
we have no other.
But for us, there's no connection between Broker Bay and KW.
But I'm saying there could be.
Maybe shouldn't there any desire?
Depends on how hard I want to fight. Because we're coming up, and you guys, if you monitor the technology, if you follow up technology, live streams and etc., you should know that there is a Keller Cloud marketplace that is not available. What is that marketplace? It's like an app store where you're going to have websites provider, surveys, service providers, broker type service providers. We can't be everything, right?
Right.
But you can.
They will show up on the marketplace under one big condition.
They don't share data.
And yeah, they do
If
share
there's
data
a link
with
to
us.
command, yeah.
Okay.
They share data 100% with us. So that means that whatever data is generated on the third party, being direct input or generated data, like stats or whatever, it has to travel to command. Otherwise, no way.
Are you able to show us what a listing looks like when you would click on it? We can see it, so.
Give me an address.
68 Westway.
60. Westway in one word?
The west way.
The Westway?
The, yeah.
Yeah.
There's coffee and donuts outside, by the way.
Yeah. Okay. Nico?
Got my attention.
Anchor thoughts.
Do you remember what I said at the meeting?
Yeah, dude.
Which one is it? I don't know
The
where.
one right on the street.
It's not like
Down,
us either.
down 4 o'clock. 4 o'clock.
4 o'clock.
There.
I'll get there for it. So, right now, the data, the company that's feeding our data is WolfNet. And I was talking about that when I started. WolfNet is kind of crap. It's not really reliable. So that's why we have Smarter Agent, and Smarter Agent is going to be much better than that.
It seems like there's those listings that are no longer active that are on Keller.
There's a bunch of small issues with
That says
WolfNet.
66, not 16.
And those issues are not reflected only here,
66
they're reflected on your websites, they're reflected because the Placer website, they use WolfNet data, etc. So we're getting rid of all that.
Can you scroll down for me, Gilles, please?
It's really, you've asked us so nicely, I will.
Thank you.
And what's gonna be the alternative to WolfNet?
Smarter Agent,
Smart.
which is owned by Keller now.
Okay.
Now, if that was an address
When's that
that was
coming?
actually on the market, would it show all the details? Because I think
It
you
is
got
not,
it.
It is on the
no
market.
detail from the record.
No,
I thought
this
he said
is
68.
But this is
He just
visible
said
only
68.
by you guys, right? This is not consumer facing.
Right.
But chances are, whatever you come up on the app, whatever you get up, you end up having on the app is going to be very similar to what's there. Yes?
Okay, so help me understand the relationship now between TREB, KWLS, and Command. Do we have one point of entry
TREB is
into
your-
TREB, and then it goes automatically to Command, and KWS LS
Well,
becomes
KWLS
obsolete?
is command, it's in command.
Okay, so we just enter it into TREB like we normally do and expect it to show up
It goes
there?
there.
Okay.
Okay, so those are listing. But another basic listing is in Lead Accelerator. That's because that you can use today. That you can start today. Who uses Facebook for promoting listings? That's it. Who's using Google AdWords? Instagram, okay, Twitter, LinkedIn, whatever. Whatever account you have connected in your settings, you can now start using here. So let's say I want to create a new campaign. I will never have to go to Facebook. I have to have a business page on Facebook, right? But once it's created, I never have to go to Facebook, I never have to go to Google AdWords, I never have to go anywhere. I will do everything here. And that's available today. Even your credit card, you're gonna configure it here. Payment profile, and we'll take care of sending the money to Facebook and Google and everything. One bill.
So we should be connecting this to our business page as opposed to our personal page.
You should be connecting that now.
So business page is not personal pages?
That's right.
Okay, business page.
So you sign in through your personal Facebook, because it's.
Yeah,
done by
your
your
personal,
name.
then you create.
Can you
a
add?
business.
It's all about you.
Well, hold on a second though, but if some people promote listings, for example, on their personal page as well as their business page.
We don't connect to personal pages.
Do you just, okay,
We don't. If you try to connect, if you try to send an ad to a personal page, it won't work.
So
okay.
suppose your business page are logged
And then
in.
you can share from your business page to the personal page afterwards on Facebook.
So when you connect to your ad, will it allow you to like add an underlying Zap or use Zapier to extract the information and send you emails, or how? And will that information you collect from that ad be available for upload into Command?
Dig into a little bit. Are you talking about the clicks and all the stats and the elements generated by
So
it?
you can set up a lead generation
Landing
landing page.
with a lead capture.
Right. And then there's a program called Zapier that allows you to take that and extract it directly into your CRM and tag it in your CRM.
So why would you do that?
Because now you've got a brand new lead in your CRM that you can send
Okay, but
your.
I'll show you how to do it. You go here, you create a landing page. That gives you a CTA link, a URL,
Yeah.
right? The landing page is a web page that is published on the internet. That gives you a URL, and I'll show you how to
You add the URL there.
connect it to your app. Okay, so let's do it, and then you'll see how it goes.
Which tab are you on? That's just called My Campaigns?
No, it's Lead Accelerator. That's a little
Megaphone.
Megaphone. Okay, so create new campaign. Call it test.
I had an issue.
I want to do a Facebook campaign. I can click Facebook, Google AdWords, Instagram at once, and then it's going to guide me through the process. What do you want to do? Attract listing, advertise listing, attract talent, brand awareness, event awareness. For the last 2 years, Facebook engineers and the Keller Williams engineers have been working together to optimize the targeting algorithms here. So, yeah, you can do micro-targeting if you want. You can go on Facebook and try to beat the system. But I'm not sure I'm going to beat the Facebook engineers. We didn't knock at their door, they knocked at our door because they found out about our tech initiatives and AI, and they said, guys, we want to work with you. So whatever you select here, the targeting is going to be optimal for that specific audience. Exactly.
Joe, how do we connect Instagram on LinkedIn?
Instagram is not there in your settings yet.
Okay. So it will
It'll be there, just a matter of, I don't know, maybe the switch over. So you select Facebook, I'll say advertise a listing. What's your date range and your budget? You can fine tune it later on. Configure campaign. I'm going to go and say search listing. I'm not an agent, I don't have any listings. So I'm going to say search all listings. So I'll need an address here.
68 the West Way.
68.
Promoting you.
So you,
In one word?
Yeah.
so are you only accessing your listings or any listing?
68 the West Way.
So it keeps bringing up 66, which is next door.
It's not showing.
Yeah, it's showing.
How come it's not there, guys?
It just keeps bringing up 66, which are already sold.
68 the West Way. Is it an exclusive?
No.
No, it's not an exclusive, right? Okay.
And it brought up 66, which was the Remax listing next door that sold.
So you see, we're bringing all listings in here. But again, guys, okay, your listings should show up. If it doesn't show up, then you give a call to support. Because we have those data issues with WolfNet. That happens, okay? And I won't apologize for it, that's the way it is. But we're scrapping that for moderation. So let's move forward. So I select this listing. All my pictures are there. All my text from the MLS is here. I just want to select what's the photo I want to show up on Facebook. I just select that photo, if it's this one or that one. And then I'm going to say, okay, that's the headline. I can create my own headline. This is the condo of your dreams or my magnificent view, whatever. And here that would be the CTA text. Learn more, contact us, click here, type of thing. And then I'm going to enter, click here to know more. That's a CTA text. And this is where I'm going to put the link. Because this is an ad on Facebook. So when I click on that ad, it's going to take me somewhere. But it might take me on your website, on that property on your website. So what you have to do is go to your website, click on your property, copy the link up there, and put it here. That's all you have to do. Once it's done, let's see this one here. Here's the age group you want to target, the location, the radius, 10 miles. It's going to change to kilometers. Yeah, I told them. It was in kilometers and everything, but because of the switch over the weekend, there's been some glitch. So, and then same activity. So when it's done, your ad starts to be pushed on Facebook, and it works because I was with Phil Legree. You know Phil Legree? He's a mega agent out in Vancouver. He's part of Gary's inner circle that we call. Gary has 100 agents that are close to him. And while I was doing the presentation, Phil was working away and said, hey Phil, what the hell are you doing? I'm pushing my listings on Facebook. Because it wasn't working last week, they had a bug, now it's working, so I'm pushing it. And in the afternoon, you already had 20 clicks on one of these listings. So it's working, the targeting works well. Yes?
If you run an ad on Facebook, you have the option to set the location of that click to various places. Like, it can direct them to Facebook Messenger or WhatsApp or a landing page. Do you know if those features will be integrated here? Because
That's a CTA link. So
the
wherever
only option you have is to direct them to a URL.
a URL.
But-
For now, that's what it is.
Okay.
Right.
Also,
So it could be a YouTube video
Right.
that promotes your listing. It could be any URL. It could be whatever you said.
and I tried entering a location if you wanted to do it manually, and no Canadian cities came.
That's correct. That's correct. It's fixed. It's just not released yet. I was on their case Monday. Because after the weekend I started testing, and all these the Canadian cities are no longer there. But
There's a lot of Torontos in the US.
yeah,
There is, I believe.
yeah. So if there's a lot of Toronto. Look at that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
Ohio's
6.
usually the first one.
Yeah. All right. So once this is done, you're gonna come back here. I don't know if those are drafts, so they're not been published. Once they're published, you're gonna have all the analytics, number of clicks, your cost per click, everything that you have on Facebook. What's gonna be released in the next days or a week? Not weeks, a week, is the micro-targeting. So you'll be able to, all those micro-targeting sentences that you have on Facebook?
Yes.
Right? Agent with blue eyes and down the street type of thing, right? All the sentences that Facebook creates, you'll be able to use them as an add-on. So we'll call it the expert mode. You'll be able to put this micro-targeting there. Which is pretty cool because for the TL that's trying to recruit agents, he can target a neighborhood with a radius and say, all real estate agents. And boom. Okay, that's going to show up.
You first.
Yes?
So on the analytics where you were creating your campaign at the beginning, you picked Facebook and LinkedIn and Google AdWords and all that kind of stuff. So will it essentially take the same ad that you posted across those and compare all the analytics on the different platforms?
Well, it's going to show you to you combined
Yeah.
and individually.
Okay.
Right, so I could show it to you here. Let me find it. Usually I go through the, there it is. So that's the kind of look, the kind of visibility you're gonna have. That's the kind of graph. So it's the, you see all of you done and how much you close. So that gives you your real ROI, right? Your return on investment. So how much did it cost? How much did it cost you per click? How much was the return? Now, the fact that we are now monitoring all of your ads, we're monitoring 185,000 agent ads on Facebook, on Instagram, on Google AdWords, etc. Over time, very short period of time, we will be able to give you advice. That this kind of template, this kind of ad doesn't work as well as this one in that neighborhood. Because now we're monitoring returns and clicks. Does that make sense?
Yeah, great.
Now that's how this collective data is going to come into and empower you even more to your clients. Because now you're going to be able to show your clients some value of your services. Right? Much more. Much more. Okay? You had another question?
Yeah.
Yes?
When you're running ads on your Facebook page, there's a whole separate section or app for your Facebook page separate from your personal one. So if I ran an ad and somebody sent me a message, I would have to respond in the separate app or through my page. Do you know if Keller Williams and Facebook could work to integrate a Facebook chat into Command so that if they were a contact in Command, you could message them on Facebook or text them or email them all from Command?
Okay. Those are amazing ideas. Right?
Hit
Those
the
are
dog.
I can tell you, those are the kind of ideas that will get their attention over there. Because they're about your age.
Hey, Gilles,
All of these, they're kids, man. They're kids.
Gilles, that's why he's their tech ambassador.
No, that's what he is. So, if you have such an idea, I'll tell you where to go for that. Okay, you go onto ideas.kw.com. Again, very complicated to remember, right? Ideas.kw.com. Once you're there, I'm just going to refresh to make sure I finish my session. There you go. So you can now go to Command Kelly. Okay, general. My browser is in French. It's now coming. Some of it is. No, it's in English. That's pretty good. Okay. No. Yeah, that's in French. That's in French. So it's bilingual. So let's say you have an idea on command. And all you have to do is you can search first. Like Facebook, for example. Okay. To see if there's something like that. Better Facebook ad targeting, share mobile app. So those are ideas that have already been suggested. In development, that means that that idea is already being taken care of. Needs review, needs further review. Sometimes it'll be planned. Okay, so that's where you put your. Okay. If you have a dog, you hit the dog.
Okay, bugs are hit the dog.
Dog, you hit the dog. No, hit them hard. Right? But your labs, your ideas, that's where you should put it. And here do I have any? Yeah, 33 that voted for it. So I can vote up for it, so it increases in terms of priorities. And every single one of them is looked at by the product manager. Yes. That's how our product is going to get better. It's by listening to you. Otherwise, if we just listen to us, I mean, we're going nowhere. Okay. Listing presentation. Yes. I have my link. This is almost ready. I saw it last Friday. There's just a couple of tweaks that need to be done. Using some of the template here, using the widgets, like the insights, the market snap, everything. You'll be able in just a couple of minutes, telling you, a couple of minutes, to create a wonderful, wonderful listing presentation. With a seller or buyer guide. And what's that guide? The guide is all the steps. Everything that's going to happen once we sign together.
Canadianized?
Canadianized.
Can you edit it?
Pardon me?
Can you edit it?
Yes, you can.
Go with the buyer and the listing?
Pardon me?
The buyer presentation and the listing presentation, you can edit and
Absolutely,
content.
absolutely. 100%. Now what I'm talking about, it automatically generates guides for if there's a listing presentation, and if we sign together, then I'm going to give you a listing guide. So this is what's going to happen, this is what you're going to have to do, this is what I'm going to do, and those are the sequence. That guide is going to end up being on your, on the consumer's phone, like a step-by-step, like click next, click next, click next, done, click next, click next, click next.
If I was driving down the street, my phone rang, and it said, it was a client saying, I want to see you in 2 hours to give me a listing presentation on my neighborhood, on my house. And you were busy for the next 2 hours, but you're driving along the street, I can pick up the Kelly app, and I can ask Kelly to provide a listing presentation for me for this address, right away, like, that's it. And you can then, it'll download the listing presentation, such that when I get to the client's address, I can provide it to the client.
I'm not sure that just by saying prepare a listing.
It's getting pretty close to that,
It's
from what I see.
Yeah, it's getting. The only thing is, Norm, is that what are the widgets that you want to have on that listing presentation? And what is the postal code of the neighborhood names that you want to, the snap.
So the answer would be you could get hold of someone who could do it for you until it's loaded there completely, but it could be done like that.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's going to that, it's not very cool.
It's not there yet.
Okay.
You can stop on the other thing.
You stop using your laptop. Yeah.
And you can build your listing presentation.
Right.
But just by voice.
Not yet.
But that's not far. We're not far. So ideas at KW.com. I like these kind of things.
Are the edits that you make to the listing presentation or buyer or seller presentation personalized, or like can I access Philip and Irene's?
You really got access to all our stuff.
There's gonna be a library of listing presentations.
Yeah, okay.
So you're gonna create models, you can select a model, save it to your library, customize it to what you want, and that's it. Now,
Yeah, which is nice.
that depends on who wants to share their listing presentation, model or template. Right?
And that's happening, full right now.
Yeah, but we're family, so we're sharing things. Same thing like smart plans. So let's say the smart plan, I worked like for a week on a smart plan for teams. And it's very, very, very complicated. And I've worked hours and hours and hours. I have three choices. I can keep it for myself, or I can share it. That's number one. I can share it with my team. That's number two. I can share it to the world, well, to the Keller Williams world. And when I share it to the Keller Williams world, I can share it for free on the KW library, or I can share it for a revenue. I can say, okay, I've worked 25 hours on this, like Ben Kenny's gonna have smart plans in there, and he's gonna charge either a one-time fee or a monthly usage fee. And we don't keep a red cent out of it. All the money's gonna go to you. We're not pickling, you know.
More passive income.
Yeah.
And that's sort of the idea with everything, right? The smart plans, listing presentations, landing page templates, email templates.
Smart plans for now, that's the only thing I heard. The other stuff, no. I haven't heard anything in that regard.
All good ideas.
Yeah, good ideas. You want to monetize your work, that's another way to monetize your work, right? If you do something absolutely wonderful and other people want to use it, why not?
Will the system also handle copywriting the work? Because I mean, you might monetize it. Somebody downloads it once, shares it with everybody.
Well, okay, here's how it's worked, okay? Once I go in the KW library, I can hit preview to a smart plan. Give me a second, I'll try to see.
I think the idea is when you download it, it automatically implements it for you. If you just previewed it, you'd have to copy it yourself, which would be just as much work.
But the point is I can do the work
Yeah.
and then sell it.
Yeah, absolutely. You can sell the work.
So you
But
say
sell
you
somebody
steal
else's
the
work.
work.
It's not
Somebody else's
But that's where the copyright comes in, because if I create the exact plan that somebody else came up with is not selling, and I imagine a lot of plans are like pretty much alike. So that's why I'm curious about copyright.
That's something here now, here this one, we changed everything. No. We changed everything. So basically here I am on the KW library. If I want to use a smart plan, I can only preview as, it'll have it like on the App Store, right? You can have an explanation. It's going to tell you how many agents are using it, how much they are rating it. People can rate smart plans. There's a flat fee of $9 or $9 a month. But before you can save it to your library, adding to my smart plan, you're going to have to pull out your credit card. Once you pull out your credit card, yeah, you're engaged, right? You're going to pay for it. So how is this going to work in details? I'm sure these guys they're thinking about it. But yeah, well, if you put it up there for sale, you're going to have copyrights on it, definitely. Right? Okay. I go to here, that's right. So this is the form reader I was talking about. That's when you get, let's say you receive a PDF offer form. So what we're going to do at first, we're going to take all the MLS forms that you guys use, all the OREO forms, and we're going to train the system. We're going to move the forms in here, and the system's going to ask us questions. Where's the name? Where's the phone number? Where's the address? Where are the fields? So now we're training the tool about all the forms. So when we're done, when you slide a form in here, it will recognize the title. It'll automatically extract the data and information.
Which icon is that?
It's like, you won't have it.
It's an upside down snail.
It's not.
It's a whistle.
What is it?
Upside down snail.
Upside down snail.
I think it whistles.
It's a whistle.
Like, look what's coming.
The whistle's the lead accelerator though, isn't it?
Coming slowly.
And listing presentations.
Or I thought it could be a story.
So,
That's the megaphone.
listing presentation
megaphone.
have
Yeah.
quantitative comparisons.
Oh, there's all whistle. I see, there's the
listing
whistle. Got it.
presentation.
You just can't see it.
So, if I click this here, and I preview, your 175 or 177 steps you guys know about, it's all there.
What?
What is this?
Where's this? What the
That,
hell?
that shows your client what you do. Let me tell you a little story. When I started Fall Tour in 2008,
Yes or no?
I knew nothing about real estate. All I had was money and a partner, a guy that I met for one time. He was a real estate agent. He owned actually a brokerage, and he was 27-year-old. And we met because of my cousin, and it was on a totally separate subject. And then after the meeting, he said, Gilles, I have an idea I'd like to share with you. So he shared that idea, I loved it, and I said, let's talk more. So he came over, then the following Saturday, we had too much wine and we got a business together. And we created Fall Tour. I knew nothing, I didn't even know what MLS stands for. Nothing. I had to learn. So the only thing I knew of a real estate agent is that you would come home, we'd sign a listing agreement, and you would come back to get your check. I didn't have a clue what you guys did behind the scene. So in creating Fall Tour, we created a workflow of everything that an agent was doing once the listing was accepted or once an offer was accepted. And when the agent was seeing that workflow, they were saying, I want this, I want to show it to my client. They don't know enough of what you do. So that's why we show that to them.
So it's meant to, wow.
A little wow, show your value, what you bring to the table, right, versus tech. So when the guy says, yeah, but purple or comfrey, well, comfrey do that for you? You're gonna have to do that. Ooh.
Is this,
No, that's
Where is
American.
this?
Right now.
It's American, right?
Yeah, but you can change it. You can change
And
it.
where is
It
this?
will be changed for us, won't it? Or we're using their.
It's a listing
template?
presentation.
So listing brand, so you can change it.
Okay, so we just take out
This
packing
is brought
companies
up
and
one
stuff.
person's listing presentation.
You can add it.
You can add it
There's
This is
something-
not-
templates, I guess.
This isn't a person's, this is a template.
This is a
Yeah.
marketing strategy, like I didn't show you, but in command here, if I
They
go
come
to
with
lead,
templates, right?
so I go to lead accelerator,
their
and
listing
I create a new campaign.
presentation
Okay.
template,
Here I
and
have,
then
Oh, I thought it was-
personalize it
See
to
real
your own,
mailers
send it as
here?
your own. Okay.
so real mailers right now is for direct mailing, it's for US, it's coming for Canada. It's just because of family reunion, there's too much work on all hands on deck that we call. So right after it, we're gonna integrate with Teradel. You guys know Teradel? No? Snap ad mail? Does that ring a bell?
Nope.
If you go on Canada Post and you want to do direct mailing, you put in your property
Oh,
address, draw a circle, select the postal routes, it's all going to be integrated in here. So you're going to be able to get a flyer developed here. You're going to select your, let's say you want advertising you listed, right, in the neighborhood. So you're going to put in the property address, postal routes, you're going to say I want to send this to properties that have not been sold in the last 5 years, properties that have 2 kids and more, whatever. Just to narrow down your targeting, then the tool is going to tell you, well, we found 152 doors. It's going to cost you $110. Click here. You click there, it's going to be printed and mailed. You have nothing to do.
Oh, so we don't have to bundle it and print
Nope.
it and take it to the mailbox anymore and print
Nope.
off the right
Jill, what
pages
are my
for the
children
post
going to
office?
do now?
Oh my God.
How they make their money?
With
Go
their
to school.
weekend.
When is that ready?
So I'd say about probably April,
April? Okay.
in French and English for those who are French.
What's that button called?
Post.
Real mailers.
Well, it's going to be called differently for us.
Okay.
The way it's going to work, we're rewriting white page. You guys know what white page
Yeah,
are, right? We're scrapping that altogether. We're replacing it by a tool called People and Organization. And that tool is going to know that you're a Canadian. That way it won't show you real letters anymore. It's going to show you the button for Canadian. It's not going to show a zip code anymore. It's going to show postal code because it'll behave based on your, on your role profile, where you're from. So as you can see, there's a lot of work being done right now. So we're probably 2019, I'd say, is a transition year for all of us. By middle or end of 2019, most likely we're all going to be on this. We're all going to be using probably 80%, 90% of we're going to run 80% of our business using Command. There might be some bits and pieces that are still in the works. But like I said, right? You remember when you use MLS books? Some of you remember that?
I do, yeah.
Okay. A lot has changed since, eh? So between now and next year, or a year or 2 years from now, a lot will change even more. So next year, at this same time next year, we're going to be in a totally different place. Okay. Remember, speed to market is key. So we have to bring you as fast as possible. So you start using it. It's not perfection, but we are going to perfect it with ideas like this young man there. Amazing. Any questions?
Wow, nobody, no questions.
How much is, I forgot, how much is this going to cost you?
So what do you guess that the competition will do in response, if anything? I know they don't have the financial power to, and it will take them how long to try to do something in, in competition?
That's a good question. Just on AI alone, and it's not me talking, okay? Josh team literally asked Google, okay, if I wanted to do a Google Assistant type using AI on the market, how long would it take me to build horizontally? That means for for everybody. Google told them 2 years. It'll take you 2 years, given that you have the data.
Okay, but there are some other big
And then they
companies,
asked,
so-
okay, how long would it take if I was to build AI for a vertical market, like real estate? 2 years, given that you have the data.
And the money.
And
You said
the
what,
money,
$4 million?
money aside, money aside.
Yeah.
Let's see, money is not an issue.
Right, you can find the money, it's the data, and one of the challenges everybody else will have is that nobody else reports financials and data monthly to one source. They would all have to start building just the data reporting systems first, then start to build the technology.
The other franchises don't, like Remax does not.
Centralized.
And it's the same thing. Even if you want to give birth to a baby, it's going to take 9 months. Even if you have 3 women, it's going to take 9 months. So to build AI, it's going to take you a couple of years. That's the Google engineers. That's what they said. So we've started to build this 3.5 years ago. Nobody, and I mean no other brands at all, has even started, has even a project to start something on AI. Now Remax announced a couple of months ago that they're investing big money into tech, and at the same time they presented their partner. So they're not building it, they're using bolt-on technologies. It's the same old thing, right? They won't control their destiny, not at all. So I think we are at the best place at the best time. Because we have to tackle those big tech companies. If we don't do anything, your job's gone in a matter of time. And other smaller real estate, like independents, that's why you see a lot of Raoul Page merging together, Remax's offices being acquired, getting bigger, because the smallest office, they can't survive. They don't have the tech, they don't have the tool to compete with these big boys. That's it. Any question? Yes?
A lot of the features are not available yet, which is okay, but is there a way to stay up to date when they do become available? Because I wouldn't expect everybody to begin using command when half the features aren't available yet. So is there a way to be notified when something comes online?
Yes. This is it. So I'll send that to you. Okay. That's a number of links. Technology video. So if you go and connect technology video, poof, it's flooded. You have a lot of it. KW technology. Again, latest in lab live stream every Friday. You're probably on those. Every Friday, Tech Ambassador should always be there. If you're not,
Get there.
okay. It's Audie and Josh, and every Friday afternoon, it's half an hour to an hour depending on topics, and they show you. Like last Friday, they showed us that you guys, you're gonna have underneath the listing presentation icon, which is the last, you're gonna have another one that's gonna call social suite. You'll be able to schedule posts, not only ads, Facebook posts a year in advance. You're gonna be able to schedule regular posts, just configure them, hit go, and it'll be posted on a regular basis. As if people will think that, God, he's working hard every day. No, I've scheduled them in advance. On Instagram, on whatever. Right, so that's pretty cool. Where are we going also is talking about social media. In your contact database, when you get into a contact, you have all of the social media connection there. So if I know you're my client and I'll connect to your Facebook and I'll monitor your profile. This is not Big Brother. This is just, monitoring what you like, what you don't like from a real estate perspective. And let's say that you're looking for a property and I'm sending you listings in the neighborhood of $300,000 to $250,000. And suddenly the platform here monitors and finds out that you start liking properties of $400,000, $450,000. Well, automatically it will change and add listings of $400,000, $450,000 that I'm sending you.
Wow.
That kind of thing. So that's the kind of benefits that we're going to be adding. And more, but those are the ones that we know for now.
I know it's 4 weeks away, but at family reunion, do you have any idea what will be on the floor, that what they're going to be working on?
I asked the same question to Tammy yesterday. The messaging, everything is being worked on as we speak, so I don't know what the big punch is going to be. But would you like to see a little teaser on the consumer experience app that we're building?
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure?
Yes. Fire us up.
Is it a video?
It's a short video, yeah. But you all have access to those videos. Okay, I'll tell you where to go after. So if I click here.
When you're on a property detail page, it's really important to get all the information about the house as closely as possible, and so you can obviously do that. A couple things you can do differently in our consumer app that doesn't exist in all the other apps is A, you get the home DNA. The home DNA is designed based off your search criteria, and as the consumer uses the app and they find what they like and don't want, it trains it. Very similar to Amazon or Netflix. Also, in any home, the consumer can easily favorite or hide a home from ever showing up again. In addition to that, if you're working with an agent, the agent's got the ability to recommend and give you comments on why this home might be great for you and your family. We're also going to break down all of the photos by room. So as I drill into the different photos, I can start seeing them by the exterior photos or the living room photos. If I click on an actual photo, it's going to bring up the photo. But if I tap it again, it's going to show me all of the tags that it found in that photo. So our AI found that there's curtains and that this is a spacious room with hardwood floors. I, as a consumer, can tell you what I like about these tags, which trains my home DNA. This is going to allow us to have a very curated search for the consumer. Now, beyond the photos and the normal information you would see, we're going to show you the ability to put in your place of work and to calculate commute times. Another really important thing is about collaboration. So you can actually start private discussion on any home by drilling in here and inviting your agent or a co-buyer or family members to engage you in a conversation right on your app. One of the other really neat features about our property pages in the app is the neighborhood. So every time you're looking at a property, we'll show you which neighborhood it's in.
And we're going to show you some of the key things about that neighborhood easily. You can click one button and it will take you to explore that neighborhood. So you can understand what it's like to live in any neighborhood for any home you come across. And finally, no matter where you are on the property, you're going to see these two buttons on the bottom, which I can either ask Paul, my agent, which will go directly to his Kelly command, or I can request a tour. And when I request a tour, this will literally give me a couple options to say, hey, I would love to schedule a tour for this date, for the morning or the evening, and that will go directly to Paul, my agent, to secure that listing appointment for me.
That's pretty cool.
That's very
That's
cool.
pretty cool.
So is that going to be right in Kelly, or that's
No,
going to be?
that's gonna be,
Yeah.
it's gonna be a consumer app. Okay, we're building it from scratch, and
Okay,
for those who already have your app, it'll be updated automatically.
Okay,
Because it's guess who built our app?
the people that
Smarter agent.
Yeah.
And we bought it.
Yeah, I think a lot of us stopped sharing the app.
The app, yeah,
because
because it just
wasn't
wasn't,
really working.
it
Well,
wasn't.
it works. We've updated it, big time.
Was it never?
Like last summer. It cost $300,000 to update that app. Just wrap it. It's pretty good.
I'm not sure what that's sort of referring to.
But anyway, that's,
You're ready.
and you can see those videos. You can go to, yeah, technology, videos.
So,
Take videos, and in here you're gonna see Gary Keller, Josh Team. You go to Josh Team, and you're gonna see all the videos that Josh Team has created, and he's got a bunch on the new consumer app.
so the app, sorry, was the app updated with Canada in mind? Or was it updated overall? And
200%. I reviewed everything on the consumer experience to make sure it was Canadian.
Gotcha. And so that's every listing as long as the info is put in by the agent.
Yeah, and even the experience from a consumer's perspective, everything is Canadianized, 100%.
Okay.
The verbiage, the flags, whatever, everything is there.
So there's going to be a bit of a challenge in reintroducing the app in Canada with confidence. Are we going to have a dog to hit for the stuff that's not working? Because we had so many problems with the old one.
And we're going to start a contest. What's the name of the dog?
Goofy? Fluffy? It's just, it was
Okay, number one.
so challenging.
Number one, okay?
Yeah.
We have to forgive history.
Which
We
is
have to
fine.
forget that. Those tools were built by others.
Right.
We're building our own. Are there going to be glitches? The answer is yes or yes.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Well, we have to trust what we're building because we're building it collectively.
But how do we know when we've gone from the old one to the new one?
Oh,
Well, I mean,
unless you're not listening at all, you'll know.
okay.
You'll know when we're releasing it. You'll know big time.
So basically, don't do anything with the existing app and just wait.
I haven't said that. I haven't said that.
No, update it.
I haven't said that. It's going to be updated automatically. It's going to go from the old app, and the new app is going to be.
Keep playing with it until you're satisfied that it works
Yeah.
well enough to give to your client and say that you have confidence in it.
We will not release an app that 200,000 agents don't like.
Okay.
Now, we've built this app on having labs with agents and with consumers. We've done a large number of labs in Austin with consumers. Being a Canadian consumer or American consumers, they're looking for the same thing. How easy it could be to search for a property, etc. So, consumer provides the same. We were paying those consumers $50 an hour to be there. So do you think they have focus?
I'm not worried about the interface, I'm worried about the integrity of the data. When do we know we're getting real-time data for as many listings as there are on Realtor.ca? Because that's where we get in
You
trouble.
will never have that. You will never have what Realtor.ca has, ever.
So what will we have, 90% of it, 95% of it?
90% of it.
And when will we be at that
I
point?
said it, end of March.
End of March, okay.
Yes.
Is there an overall mapping at a higher level that talks about each of the sections and what they do at a high level, just to sort of keep it all straight?
Like an executive summary, something like that?
Yes.
A prospectus sort of thing?
Well, no, not
I'm
that,
sure-
like just,
I'm not sure, I'm not sure it's there. I'm not sure.
okay.
Because all of these pieces are just running, and they're changing. Like what we used to call sketch house, they're thinking about renaming the design. And when you look at this here, where is it here? Those two icons are going to merge together. Instead of being landing page and sketch house, it's going to be called content creator, where everything's going to be in the same place. So there's still a lot of moving parts. But the none that I see.
Yeah, but
So I should submit the idea.
so for Deborah, if you go through KW Connect to the lab's dashboard, each of the tools we've talked about, so Kelly, referrals, all of those things have their own box that gives a sort of bullet point breakdown of what they do. And if you click on it, it gives you a little bit more of an explanation of it.
Okay.
So it gives you a broader look at it.
Yeah.
Main thing
Yeah.
too is just take an area and start working on it, and as you become more proficient and that becomes more available, then you can expand.
Exactly.
I think, and Joseph, if I can for a second, I think that's one of our biggest challenges. When we're rolling out tools, any of us that were here a long time ago have this sort of sense of it didn't used to work, and we sort of held way back on it. And then as something new comes out, instinctively you say, well, now I want to wait. I want to wait till it's perfect. The problem is that with 200,000 of us worldwide, if we're not on it now, playing with it, and using, even if it's 50% of the tools that are available, then there's nothing that's going to improve on it. So you're better off going on now, playing with it, using it to the best of its ability, being part of the voice that's improving it, and then the changes just get added automatically. If everybody sits back and waits, we've got 200,000 agents that are still going to be using all of these other pieces of technology that honestly aren't any better. There's nothing that works as good as the stuff that we've already built in Command, let alone what Command's going to be a year from now.
Yeah.
So the challenge really is just get out, like play with Kelly every day, play with Command, get onto all of the little dashboard pieces, go and look at what it is, and start to see how your business between now and March can make the transition, kind of slowly, piece by piece. But get in and use it.
Yeah. Question for you guys. You remember when I was here for the last time? I've asked you one question. Well, actually, I've asked you two questions, maybe more. I don't remember. But at least I remember those two. Do you guys know how many people move in this neighborhood or in Toronto every day?
No, every day.
Yeah, sure. Okay, let's make it simpler. Every week.
No idea.
No?
No, we get thrown
Where do they come from?
all over, everywhere.
Aren't you guys interested in that kind of business and finding out where people that are moving in,
Sure.
where they're coming from? So last year, if you remember, there was a kid there. He was a new agent. When he saw what Gary was announcing, like the referral, he said, "This was Facebook equal me millionaire." Remember I told you that story?
Yes.
Who did it in this room? Because to your point, we have to start using these tools. We're not building them for Remax, we're building them for you. Who has started to use this? Generating business. Great.
Yeah, I would say we've been
You
getting
have
referrals from
to.
our referrals.
So what you would do, you try to find out who is coming in, where they're coming in from. Keller Williams is all over the place. Strategically connect. Try to grow your network. That gives you access to all of Keller Williams in North America. Soon, worldwide will be attached to it. Like Italy, Portugal, Spain, everywhere.
Do we know the timing for that? Do we know the timing for that?
No, I don't. Like even when I tell you end of March, that's
With a grain of salt.
That's it. If nothing happens, okay? If the government doesn't stay shut down for too much longer. Okay, so just using this, you can generate a lot of business for those people who are a little bit wise and would know how to use it. Go see your local movers, to ask them the question, where are people moving in from? Connect with the agents that are at those locations, because in the United States and in Canada, we're the largest. We're gonna be the largest in Canada eventually, we're working on it, but right now, we're the largest in North America. So everybody knows Keller Williams in the States. So anybody that moves in from the States to Canada, it should come from a Keller Williams agent to you. Who's the you here in the room? That's the question. So connect with those agents, and then you just target ad on Facebook to the consumers in those strategic locations. Claim that you're the best. Claim that you have a network of 200,000 agents. Don't be shy. Come on, promote yourself. And you'll see, if you get one deal a year, wasn't it worth it?
And Gilles, that's where insights will come in. effectively.
Insights will also drive your score on referrals. So let's say I want to go static. Okay, go my network. I'm going to go to Toronto, zoom in, zoom in, zoom in, zoom in. And it's going to start showing me blue dots when I'm zoomed in enough. So should be soon. There we go. So those are all deals that were done by Keller Williams agents in the last 12 months. Those are the top agents that showed up. Okay? So I can keep zooming in. That's 558 agents. That's too many. I can't broadcast yet. So I'm going to zoom in. I'm going to zoom in. And we got 290 agents. That's 69 agents. Perfect.
For Hillier in Mississauga?
So if I have someone that want to move in this neighborhood here, those are the agents that have done, there's a list here, 69 of them, that have done deals in that geographical region. Now I have two choices. I can start vetting, well, not vetting, but looking at those agents' profile one by one, or I can say, broadcast my referral. So I'm a guy from Austin. I have a client that's moving here. I'm broadcasting it to 69 agents at once. And I say, okay, I want to have, do you remember guys, I'm the 35% guy?
Yeah.
Remember I said that?
Yeah.
Do you know what's the average of referral fee for the last year overall?
38?
36.1.
Oh, really?
Wow.
Whoo! Money over the wire, guys, come on. Now the acceptance deadline, how much time do I give you for you to get back to me? I want those people that are, you know, watching, and then I'm going to put in a little bit more detail. I click broadcast. That's going to go to 69 people. So Lauren, you're going to reply and say, Gilles, I'm going to give you your 35%.
Right.
And then I look Philip. Philip says, Gilles, I'm going to give you 40. He's a nice guy. So that's like, it's like an auction, it's like a bidding process.
Yeah.
So I'm going to look at your profile, and I might go for the 35. Anyway, it depends on what I'm looking for. If my client is a golfer and in your profile you play golf or whatever, you have insights to promote golf course, I maybe think that my client's going to have a better match with you. So when I click go and I assign my lead with you, the other 4 that have replied will be informed that the lead's been assigned. But no worry, nobody knows it's me. It's anonymous. All I know is it is within the Keller Williams family. It is a hot lead. It is true. It is not. It's not a game. It's not on Facebook where you're going to be flooded by 2,500 inbox, right? And I see on the cake is that once you send it, you forget about it, and eventually your MCA is going to call you and say, Philip, I got a check here for you. You got a check for me? Yeah. Remember that referral? It's in. It's all monitored through the system. Amazing. So you'll never go without it. Yes?
Where do we see the broadcasts coming in to bid on them?
Oh, you'll see it through Kelly.
Through Kelly?
If Kelly is off, you won't see it. Or you'll see it when you go here. When you go here, you're going to see what I saw to my referral. You'll see it through your notifications. Awaiting response.
Oh, that's what that is.
Right.
In some cases.
Inbound, outbound. So if you send referrals, if you sent referrals, you'll see them there. But if you never go there,
Well, I've been there a lot and I just couldn't figure out what it was.
But no, but I'm saying if someone never goes there, you won't know that.
Jill,
So, yes.
did you say very early on this morning that they're doing some updates with KW Connect before they take it into and link it with Command?
Yes.
Because there are some issues with KW Connect in terms of navigation. It's not that easy.
No kidding.
Yeah, really.
It's
When I, when,
We've been using it a lot and it's like.
when I joined KW, and I first time in Austin, then I had a kind of an immersion window there. They allowed me a few hours to learn the system. I looked at my KW, I looked at KW Connect, and I said, you know what? No offense. I'm looking in the future. I don't want to know anything about the past. I had to learn some bits and pieces, but I really don't know much about those tools. I have no interest whatsoever. I'm looking for where we're going and where we come from. So yeah, it's gonna come into. It's gonna come in here. My Connect groups. That's where it's like a social media suite within Command. You're gonna be able to create groups, send messages with chats. That's pretty amazing. That's very powerful. I don't go through it because it's just a matter of time, but it's very powerful. You can create a group for your market center, for your team. You can send messages. I could send a message up Norm and talking about Philip, and suddenly Philip is going to be made aware that we're talking about him in a conversation, and he's going to be able to jump in. So just be careful what you say. Right? So the moment I put at Philip, that's the same thing as Facebook, right? So we're trying to build in here the tools that you need to run your business. But you'll be also able to, if I go home here, I see a chat. Where's my chat? Okay, my chat has disappeared. I have I'm supposed to have a chat box here. You can chat with anyone at Keller Williams. 200,000 agents are there, so I could say, chat with Norm, send you a message. I don't have to remember your phone number, your email address, whatever. You're going to get a chat message on Keller. And that chat is being extended to your contacts. So you'll be able to chat with your contacts within Command.
Is that a group chat as well? So like
Yes, group chats as well. Absolutely. Yeah.
I just want
That's available right now.
What's that chat?
That's there right now.
Can we circle back to video again?
Video?
Yeah, like how KW video is gonna, KW has always supported BombBomb. We've been using it a ton. We do a lot of videos, for listings and stuff, and we're talking about keeping it all in the cloud and being able to put it into newsletters and stuff. And for us right now, because it's a separate system, we have to export all our contacts and maintain 2 lists. How is Command going to integrate the use of video?
I don't know. I know they will do it. I know 100% they're working on it. How it will be done, I don't know. I haven't seen a thing on it yet. When you have questions like this, that I can't have all the answers. It's impossible. You send that question to support. They will answer you. Definitely answer you. Okay. Sorry to send you there. If I knew it, I'll tell you, but I don't. I told you at the beginning, when I joined, there were 3 product managers, now there's 20.
Yeah.
And they're hiring more almost every week, so.
Yeah, I know.
Questions? No more? Are you proud to be at Keller Williams?
Yes.